incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. You will have your pool in no time.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item, we prominently feature it in social media, on our website, but we do it because it's the right thing to do for the community.
Sports Center.
I'm Doug Brown. Bills quarterback Josh Allen will sit out Saturday's preseason game against the Buccaneers, and that makes this year the first in Allen's career he won't play at all in the preseason. The Bills open the new season at home against the Ravens. Eagles wideout Johnny Wilson will have season-ending knee and ankle surgery. He got hurt during practice on Tuesday. With Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer seeming to be confident that Micah Parsons will be on the field for the opener in 2 weeks, ESPN's Chris Canty is wondering.
Either Brian Schottenheimer has inside information and knows something that we don't know as far as what Jerry is and isn't willing to do. Maybe Jerry and Stephen Jones have told their new head coach that we're going to get this done.
Chris Canty on Unsportsmanlike. Golf, the first round of the Tour Championship at Eastlake in Atlanta. Justin Thomas, the leader at 7 under par. Colin Morikawa is one shot back. He's playing the 18th. Patrick Cantlay, Robert McIntyre, and Russell Henley, all 2 shots off the lead.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Canty. Coming on Friday, the Colts have a new starting quarterback, but I'll tell you why they are destined to finish last in the AFC South. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's rock! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
And Mr. Toby Tom Play. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Man, we have a ton to do today. Chris Hummer of CBS Sports, he loves him some LSU Tigers in 2025. Get to that in 15 minutes. Seth Wickerssham has written a book, which includes Colin Hurley. We'll get to that next hour. Tulane running back Maurice Turner. Lee Sterling is here next hour as well. Mike Triplett in hour 3. My goodness, we are jam-packed today. But let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
We are approaching the start of a new college football season, and after this, there is a ton of ambiguity about what the rest or the future of the SEC football scheduling will look like. This has been an ongoing conversation since it was announced that Texas and Oklahoma were coming into the league, and apparently we are nearing a conclusion and a decision. Obviously, you know, the SEC plays 8 league games right now. The decision is, do they stay at 8? Do they go to 9? And that is something that the SEC has not been quick to make a decision therein. Greg Sankey was on AFR at SEC Football Media Days and said this on this show.
There are steps to that. So December would be our schedule show. We've done that the last couple of years. Okay. The decision has to come pretty soon. The decision on the format. So you're asking about the announcement of what format we'll use to fill out the schedule. Shot clock's running down.
If you want to have a December show announcing your schedule for 2026, you got to know which format's going to be. Well, Ross Dellinger on Twitter a bit ago writes a thread. In meetings this week, SEC executives moved closer to adopting a 9-game conference football schedule, sources tell Yahoo Sports. The decision remains with the presidents, who are expected to meet soon on the issue. There's a few more tweets in the thread that he notes. Momentum for a 9-game SEC schedule grew this spring, coinciding with the emergence of a 4-4-2-2-1 college football playoff format. It seemed to fade after coaches rejected the format. However, combined with the added ESPN money and potentially CFP talks, SEC leaders are inching closer to adopting 9. According to previous modeling of 9-game conference schedules, a debate the league has held for 4 years now, each SEC school would play 3 permanent opponents and 6 rotating each season. Finally, if the SEC decides to move to a 9-game schedule, ACC leaders have said they would likely follow suit, a move that will put all 4 power conferences at 9-game league schedules. This may expedite discussions around future CFP formats. So if I would make sense of that as simply as possible, this is a chicken or the egg conversation. The SEC was not going to go to 9 without guaranteed additional TV revenue and without an expanded playoff. Understand, if you go to 9, you are guaranteeing half of your league another loss. There's a lot of coaches in the league who like their jobs and would like to not be guaranteed another loss, because effectively you would be taking away one of the layup non-conference games and adding an SEC game to the schedule. So the money would have to be right from the networks. In this case, ESPN. The SEC did a deal with ESPN based on an 8-game scheduling model. You go to 9, the league wants to be compensated for giving ESPN more SEC inventory, naturally. So yes, the networks apparently would cooperate and compensate the SEC appropriately. But the other part is the expanded playoff. Again, if you stay at 12 and there are no assurances of auto bids beyond one for your conference champion, why would you make it harder for your league to get access? A 9-game schedule would inherently make it more difficult. You're guaranteeing half your league another loss. So the league has been hesitant to do that. Similarly, other leagues don't want to expand the college football playoff unless the SEC is at 9. Because why would you then add more playoff teams when one league has an easier path than others? Is the logic. So it's a chicken or the egg conversation. And the SEC doesn't want to expand to 9 without the expanded CFP. So in a game of chicken, it might almost be like, all right, you don't want to blink first. We're not going to blink first. Let's just blink at the same time. It's kind of what it feels like this is going to be. Now, I think 9 is good because we need uniform scheduling in college football. You heard me yell about that earlier this week when we were talking about Auburn claiming fake national championships. It's just how absurd college football is, that all of these teams compete for, air quotes, the same title when they're not playing uniform scheduling. It's a fundamental absurdity when you don't have uniform scheduling, yet everyone's playing for the same prize at the end. The fact that Indiana can go 11-1, not beat a single ranked team, and get in a playoff when you have teams that play 3, 4, 5 ranked teams, but finish 9-3 and don't get in the playoff. Well, what if you'd flip schedule? I mean, that's the conversation that happens all the time around discussions like this. So a 9-game league schedule plus the Power 4 component, where you have to play a non-conference Power 4 opponent, means you'd have 10 Power 4 games, which is awesome. That's better for the fans. That's better for your TV partners. That's better for everyone, literally everyone. It's a better product for everyone to consume. You take away LSU Western Kentucky and you add in LSU Auburn. Yes, like if we went around the room and said, hey, if I could trade out Western Kentucky for Auburn on the schedule, but everybody in the league had to do that, would you be in favor of it? Everybody would be like, yeah, of course, it'd be awesome. I'd much rather see LSU play Auburn than Western Kentucky, as long as everybody's doing that. Then the other part becomes, okay, well, which 9? right? Like how do you arrive on a if it's 9, which 9 do you play? And Ross noted in that tweet that it's a 3-6 model, 3 permanents and 6 rotating opponents. So in that instance, every year your 6 would rotate, or every other year your 6 would rotate. So you'd play the 3 permanents and then 6 home, 6 away, and then the next year 6 home, 6 away. So over a 4-year period, you would play every team in the league home and away. So I guess that's one way to do it. I still think permanent opponents are dumb. They're inherently inequitable. You hear me say that word all the time, but that's something that I stick to. I want equitable scheduling. It's not equitable when LSU plays Florida every year and Ole Miss plays Vanderbilt. It's just not the same. So I think it should. I don't think there should be permanent opponents. I don't give a rip if Alabama and Auburn play every year. I don't give a darn about the Deep South's oldest rivalry. I don't care about the third Saturday in October with Tennessee and Bama. And truthfully, nobody outside of those fan bases care either. Is it fun to sit there and watch it? Sure. But what if you had Alabama and Georgia playing in a very meaningful game late in the season? Or you had LSU and Texas playing in a meaningful late game. All I want is equitable scheduling. And I understand there's rivalries that everybody wants to protect, and it's the pageantry of college football and all that stuff. But I would rather have equitable scheduling across the board. It's coming from someone who went to a school and cheers for a school that doesn't have a traditional rival. So yes, Alabama and Auburn and Texas A&M and Georgia and Florida are all going to feel differently about that. But it's progress. A 9-game league schedule across the board for all the power leagues is progress and will likely get us to 16-team playoff, which is progress, and that's all I want to see. It's baby steps, and we're getting there. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. As we've been telling you, the new white Bud Light cans and aluminum bottles are here, honoring LSU's tradition of wearing white jerseys at home. So check them out at great local retailers. Make sure if you're tailgating, home gating, wherever you might be, grab the delicious refreshment of an ice-cold Bud Light in the officially licensed LSU can and aluminum bottle. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Okay, y'all, quick break. We'll come back. Speaking of the Tigers, Chris Hummer at CBS Sports, he loves him some 2025 LSU football. We'll ask him why and get a little big picture overview of the league from Chris Hummer when we come back on AFR.
After Further Review.
Glow Resources, complete employer solutions. You know where to find them because, well, I tell you every day. GLO, glowresources.com, glowresources.com. Jareth Nakan and his team over at Glow Resources do an awesome job. You know, they specialize in hiring skilled blue-collar labor, but they have their professional placement division as well. So any type of office job up to C-level management. But sometimes, you know, if you're trying to hire and you're tired of people who are unreliable, they do work slowly. They may take hours to set up a job that should take minutes. Glow finds people that are going to work hard and show up on time, and a big part of that is through the interview process, knowing which questions to ask to make sure they avoid potential impediments down the road. It's Glow Resources. Remember, they conduct roughly 15,000 interviews in a year, so they're experts at this. You need the right people, you need Glow Resources. glowresources.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
I often say, a lot of times fans seek affirmation, not information. You seek the information or the opinions that you agree with, that you want to hear. It's like in political conversations, like Republicans watch Fox News, Democrats watch CNN. I'm not a political person, but everybody knows that. You seek affirmation. Maybe I'm doing that with having Chris Hummer on the show because he's picking LSU to do the same damn thing that I am. Chris Hummer of CBS Sports is with us now. He's on Twitter at Chris_Hummer. Hey, man, how are you?
Doing well, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. Happy to provide some affirmation to people in Baton Rouge.
Okay. Your piece up at CBS Sports, your bold prediction is that LSU loses week 1 against Clemson but wins the SEC, which is the exact same thing that I'm picking. How did you land on that?
I think I legitimately believe LSU is one of the 5 most talented teams in the country, with one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the country. But I think it's very difficult to bring in as many new pieces as LSU is in week 1 and have things flow smoothly. Throw in the fact that LSU's defensive line is among the best in the country, and I think LSU is still working out some kinks at tackle, especially. It puts LSU in a difficult position in week 1, but I think as the season goes along, as those new pieces begin to coalesce, as Garrett Nussmeier gets a little more used to his receivers, as that defense continues to coalesce under Blake Baker, I think things come together, and LSU is the team in the SEC I like best. Who did you have them beating in the SEC championship game? I had them over Georgia. Okay. I'm probably the only Austin resident that does not have Texas in the SEC title game, but I did pick them over Georgia. Well, that's where we disagree, because I do have them beating Texas in the SEC championship game, but it's going to be a fascinating season as it might play out. Why do you think the narrative around LSU, as you stated, most have them like as the 4th best team in the league? Why do you think that is? Maybe a better way to ask it, Chris, is that more doubting Brian Kelly's squad or more credit toward Texas, Georgia, Bama? I think it's the precedent that Texas, Georgia, especially the last couple of years, have proven, and then I think Alabama kind of gets the benefit of the doubt after a weird season last year in year 1 under Kalen DeBoer, as opposed to Brian Kelly, who's yet to show the ability to compete at a national title level, at least at LSU. Obviously did that plenty at Notre Dame in a previous time, and I think LSU's additions, while I believe are excellent, are still theoretical in a way because they haven't done it in an LSU uniform, and they haven't done it on that roster. And improvements by that defense are still theoretical. I mean, that was a unit last year that was around 90th nationally in yards allowed per play. Like, I think it has a chance to be a top 40, top 30 unit this year, based on what I've heard about the defense. But it hasn't happened yet. So I think when you're picking nits and you're talking about Georgia and Texas, 2 teams that have been in regular contention for national championships the last couple of years, and Alabama, a team only 1 year removed from being in the playoff. They're in a different conversation, I think, at least in terms of top of mind conversations for people, as opposed to LSU, which has been less in the national spotlight the last couple of years.
You mentioned that LSU might be the most underlooked or overrated team. The flip side of it is, or underrated, I should say, you think that Texas is probably maybe the most overrated team. Why?
I actually, so before we came onto this, I was reviewing the article that I didn't put together. I only contributed to. I definitely did not pick Texas as my most overrated team. I don't really know why that
You have a bone to pick with the editor then.
Yeah, I actually do. I messaged him right before this call. I actually picked South Carolina as my most overrated team.
Okay. By the way, I got South Carolina 7-5, Chris. I mean, if you just want to trade notes, we could do that.
We are thinking on a similar.
This is like the Parent Trap, where the twins just trade places. You come host my show, I'll write for you. It's the same info.
Beautiful. I think my editors would probably be pretty happy with that. I don't know if your listeners would be thrilled with the trade.
Depends who you ask.
But yeah, man. It's hard for me to it's weird to say that about South Carolina, top 10 quarterback in the country. Maybe best defensive player in the country in Dylan Stewart. I mean, Caleb Downs would be my number one pick, but he'd be in the top 5. Like, 2 elite pieces, but they're just question marks at every other position on that roster for South Carolina. I think it's very difficult. Like, they quietly had the best defense in the SEC last year, in my opinion. Certainly the best front 4, and they lost a ton from that side of the ball. I think the offense is going to have to take a really big step, and they didn't really invest in wide receiver in the transfer portal. Their biggest transfer portal addition at running back is likely not going to be able to play due to eligibility stuff. The offensive line still has questions. The schedule is always really difficult for South Carolina. Like, that's just a team that I think is much more likely to end up at 7-5 than they are at 9-3 by the end of the season.
Chris Hummer is our guest. You can get him on Twitter at Chris_Hummer, CBS Sports, of course, and 24/7. Alabama's one that's in that mix that we talked about as well, right? The ones that sort of get the benefit of the doubt. Where do you fall on a projection for Kalen DeBoer in year 2?
I'm more bullish on this Alabama team than I was last year.
Man, we were doing so good, Chris.
Yeah. Well, I think it's twofold. One, I just think Ty Simpson's a better fit for Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb's offense than, obviously Ryan Grubb wasn't there last year, but than Jalen Milroe was last year. The high-end plays that you get from Jalen Milroe, the accuracy, the athletic ability, the accuracy downfield, that's like a 10 out of 10, right? But it's the getting the bus to the stop on time, right, when you're driving, that I think Jalen Milroe struggled with. Those short and intermediate passes, I think the consistency of the offense struggled because of that. And I think Ty Simpson will do a better job managing things in that way. I think that wide receiver room is considerably better than it was a season ago. And I think it's really defensively where Alabama, I feel much better about coming into the year. That secondary was such a big question mark going into last year. I think it's going to be one of the best secondaries in the SEC this season. Yes, I do have some questions about where Alabama's pass rush comes from outside of LT Overton. But last year, we didn't even know LT Overton would emerge, and we had nothing but questions about that group. I think the linebackers there are going to be some of the best in the SEC, too. Yeah, the SEC is a difficult schedule. Yeah, Ty Simpson has a lot to prove, but I think when you just kind of look at the board and how it shapes up for them, the depth chart, it's just in a better place than it was a season ago, and the talent is still top 5 in the country, and you put those two things together, and I think you have an Alabama team ready to be back in the playoffs. Is
there a team outside of that Georgia, Texas, Bama, LSU that you think could surprise and maybe make a playoff run like Tennessee did a season ago?
If I had to put my money on a team to do that and surprise people, it'd be A&M. I think A&M has just been ignored in the national conversation this offseason for whatever reason. And, they were, a game away from being the SEC championship game last year. I think it's very dependent on what Marcel Reed can do. But talking to people around that program, both privately and publicly, they're very bullish on the offseason Marcel Reed's had. He needs to take a pretty significant step, but he'll have more help. That wide receiver room is considerably better than it was a season ago. They created almost no explosive plays. Then they brought in Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion, brought in a new tight end room almost completely. They'll have one of the better offensive lines in college football. And I think that unit is ready to take a step. And if that happens, like, I can certainly see A&M enter that mix. I think the other two teams I would think about in terms of a playoff spotlight in the SEC are Auburn and Florida, but they have a lot more to prove, in my opinion. So I'm not quite ready to pick them to go to the playoffs yet. But A&M is a team that I think is undervalued going into this year.
Chris, how many SEC teams do you think make the playoff this year?
I think it's 4. I think in this current system, 4 is probably the ceiling and the floor for one league. I mean, 4 is probably the ceiling and the floor for the SEC most years. I just think there's going to be 4 teams at 9-3 or better, maybe 5, and 4 of those teams get in just because of the strength of schedule that comes with the league and the reputation that does.
9-3 will be fascinating to see if a team gets there, right? Because last year, sort of that benchmark, that delineation point was 10-2. It'll be fascinating to see if we get to a point where a 9-3 team can earn an at-large bid. But pretty soon we're going to get to stop talking about it and actually get to go watch games and let it all play out. We're looking forward to that. Make sure you follow Chris on Twitter at Chris_Hummer, CBS Sports, and 24/7, of course. Hey, man, we appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, it's our pleasure. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's WilliamsonEye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. Remember, school's back in session. Make sure you schedule your eye exam for your kiddos. Make sure you take your children for their annual eye exam. If you haven't done that yet, it's a great time to do it. The start of school is a good reminder. And with 8 locations around Greater Baton Rouge, there's a Williamson Eye Center location near you. Whether it's in Baton Rouge, if it's River Parishes in Lutcher, if it's in Denham Springs, if it's in Zachary or in St. Francisville, you're never far. And of course, if you want to ditch the contacts and glasses forever, Dr. Blake Williamson, they've got a refractive procedure that can help. And people come from all over. I mean, I've talked to Dr. Blake and so many people in the office. People come from out of state to the Williamson Eye Center to have their LASIK, their PRK, their custom lens replacement, in part because many instances, Dr. Blake is doing first of its kind type procedures over at the Williamson Eye Center. And just because he's been doing it for so long, he's the most experienced, most accomplished, best. And of course, you want the best. You want the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. I appreciate Chris for joining us there. He and I agree on a lot. He's got LSU Georgia in the SEC championship game, which is interesting. He has LSU beating Georgia. He has Texas third, then Alabama fourth, followed by Texas A&M, which I don't, Texas A&M was my pick this year, kind of the surprise team in the SEC. I think A&M's a 9-3 football team for a lot of the reasons. I think A&M this year is a quintessential Les Miles LSU team. I think they are great offensive line, stable of very good backs, strong defense, probably not going to be able to beat you through the air like a modern offense would. But when you can run the football and play defense, that travels. The thing that A&M has going against them is that schedule when you get toward the October and the beginning of November. They play 3 consecutive road conference games, ended by home games against Florida and South Carolina. I mean, this stretch of Texas A&M schedule, it's the thing why when I look at A&M, it's hard for me to pick them any better than 9-3. After UTSA and Utah State, week 3, they're in South Bend against Notre Dame. Now, I don't know what Notre Dame's going to be this year. They lost a ton off of last year's national runner-up. But then after Notre Dame, they have an open date. Then they play Auburn, Mississippi State, Florida, then the gauntlet at Arkansas, at LSU, open date at Missouri, South Carolina. Then they go Samford, at Texas, and Austin. I mean, that's just 5 road conference games in your final 7, and the 2 at home are Samford and number 13 South Carolina. And that doesn't even include Florida, Auburn, and at Notre Dame on the schedule. That's just, if it doesn't happen for the Aggies this year, I think a big reason is just going to be that schedule. I mean, they will have impressive wins this year, but I think the losses, they at least get to 3 losses just because of how that schedule plays out. All right, it's After Further Review. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Remember, summer heat is here. Stay hydrated. IV hydration therapy. Their expertly trained nurses at Decision Critical will come to you at your home, your office. I've gotten IVs here in studio before. They also do therapeutic phlebotomy. So a lot of men who are on hormone therapy, you have to give blood so that way you can keep your red blood cell count low, or it doesn't get elevated, I should say. Instead of going to a blood bank or inconveniencing yourself, they can come to your home, your office, knock that out quickly. It's Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge, decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll go around the SEC. We are welcoming back today Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports. Lee joined us last year all during the football season. It was a very popular segment. Lee gives out picks and best bets. So he'll be with us at the end of hour number 2 today. Give us some picks for the opening weekend of college football. So we're looking forward to having Lee. Tulane running back Maurice Turner. ESPN Seth Wickersham's here in about 45 minutes from right now. Mike Triplett in hour 3. I mean, we are jam-packed today. A ton to do. Thanks for hanging out here on AFR.
AFR.
The new agent225.com is here. So log on to agent225.com. Agent225.com. If you're thinking of selling your home, log on to agent225.com. The most user-friendly website in real estate has gotten a facelift. It's gotten added features on it now as well. It has never been easier to buy a home, to sell a home. You want to figure out your home, your property value right now? It's simple. Right there on the homepage, you'll see it says home value. Type in your address, and in seconds, you will get an estimate of what your home is worth today. You can get it all right now on the totally redesigned agent225.com, agent225.com. Listen, if you need to sell your home, you want to hire the realtor that sells more homes than anyone, that's Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, or the newly designed agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item, we prominently feature it in social media, on our website, but we do it because it's the right thing to do for the community.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
LSU made a change to its schedule this week. They started practicing now in the afternoons, and so media availability has been moved to the evening. So media is going to meet with LSU General Manager Austin Thomas today. That was supposed to happen this morning at 11:30. It got moved to this evening at 5:30. So I'll be sitting in this chair, so it won't be there. But we'll look forward to what Austin may have to say, and if anything relevant does happen while we're on air, we'll certainly discuss it in hour number 3. But Brian Kelly, when he met with reporters earlier this week, talked about how much Austin Thomas does within the program and how that sort of takes a lot off of his plate as the head coach.
For 34 years, I've effectively signed the checks, the scholarship checks, been primary in the roster. It's been such a centralized operation for my entire career, right? It all revolved around kind of what my thoughts were and my decisions. I've abdicated some of that to a front office, if you will. Now, I don't want to paint the picture that I'm not involved in those decisions, but we've hired a great GM and a front office staff that can handle a lot of that stuff for me, which allows me to stay focused on our players, because there's no way I could be negotiating contracts and, working towards some of the creative ways through revenue sharing on a day-to-day basis. There's just not enough time to do it.
Yeah, last night, we did the show yesterday out at LSU at Tiger Stadium because of the NILSU Max program was having their Go Time event, and there were about 150 businesses that were there. Brian Kelly and Austin Thomas popped in. Kelly addressed the crowd, then had to excuse himself to go back and watch practice footage and continue preparation for Clemson, which I think everybody fully understood. But Matt McMahon was there. Ronald Dupree, the basketball GM, was there. Jay Johnson was there. Beth Torino was there. Jennifer Roberts from the women's basketball program was there. So it was so interesting to sit in that room and hear all the coaches say very directly to those business owners how important they are to the future success of LSU athletics. And I think intuitively we all know that's the case because we understand how much NIL matters. But what's flipped, and I think this is what, doing that show yesterday, we're trying to help paint the picture, whether you support LSU or whether you give money to a student athlete or gave money to the collective or like NIL, all of that is irrelevant. It's more just to paint the picture of an understanding of how rosters are built now. And, I think through this evolution, one thing that's been so apparent to me is the standards and the expectation of these coaches and these programs have not dipped, but the resources have changed. I think LSU baseball is the shining example of a program that finds itself searching a bit here. And I know that sounds odd because Jay Johnson just won a national championship, but let me explain. We know the $20.5 million, right? That's the revenue share. And we've already seen the numbers. Football's getting 75% of that. Men's basketball is getting 10% of that. Women's basketball is getting 5% of that. So you're talking about men's basketball is getting, was it 75, 15, 5? Anyway, the point being, all of the other sports are sharing that final 5%. So baseball and softball with Beth and every other sport are sharing that 5%. So like Jay Johnson's probably, just do the math. Jay Johnson is getting less than $1 million in revenue share. Like, you can't build a championship roster with that. So he But the expectation of LSU baseball is going to be in Omaha every year. Like, go be in Omaha and win a championship. And it's remarkable because, I mean, I told you this. Like, from my information, I believe my information is good. At best, Jay Johnson's roster, Texas, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Georgia, Mississippi State, Arkansas, all spent more money than LSU this year. At best, he had the 7th highest paid roster, won the national championship, which is remarkable and shows how incredible he is at recruiting, developing, identifying talent, all that sort of stuff. And LSU has a tremendous amount to sell because he can go to a student athlete and say, we've won 2 titles in the last 3 years. But there's going to be some student athletes that just say, okay, well, how much are you going to pay me? It is going to be a bottom line decision for a lot of student athletes. I shouldn't say a lot, but for some. Like, and you know the name, like LSU wanted Gavin Keelan. He went to Tennessee because Tennessee paid him more. And LSU got Danny Dickinson as a result. LSU wanted Zach Root. Zach Root went to Arkansas because Arkansas paid him more. So, like, those things are going to happen. But all that to say, how you're going to fill that gap is with this third-party NIL. It's with businesses doing legitimate NIL brand deals with these student athletes that will both benefit their business from a marketing standpoint and help the coaches recruit student athletes so you can win. It's this cycle that has to exist to continue to compete and win at the highest level. It's fascinating. It's a really fascinating. It was a fascinating conversation to listen to last night. And as we, of course, know more, learn more, we'll certainly talk about it here. And Austin Thomas, again, is meeting with, all that to say, Austin's meeting with reporters this evening at 5:30. So I'll be fascinated to hear what he says, and we'll look to get Austin on the show. Really, he and Austin was there. I spoke to him briefly, and he's agreed to come on the show. Just with them being in fall camp, it's very hard to find that time, which I'm respectful of, but we'll try to make that happen really soon. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com. Firstsouthland.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Maybe you just need tax write-offs. Talk to your CPA. Owning timber property can be a great tax incentive for you. Talk to your CPA and then call First South Farm Credit. Remember, they got more than 40 branches, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. They can help you buy land anywhere in the contiguous 48. So if you're looking for that hunting property, you're looking for the 1,000 acres for agriculture, you want that 100 acres to build your family's dream home on, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. You know where to start. Log on, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. You want to do business with people that have done one thing and done it better than anyone for more than 100 years? You want First South Farm Credit. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. Okay, do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Alabama Crimson Tide.
Alabama defensive lineman James Smith was back at practice on Tuesday. Previously missed time due to an undisclosed injury. Defensive coordinator Kane Womack said Smith looked good getting back on the field. Expected to be a key piece on the defensive line as a former 5-star recruit.
The Tennessee Volunteers.
Kamari Blair, a four-star 2026 offensive tackle out of Clarksville, Tennessee, has committed to the Vols. He flips from South Carolina to the in-state Vols. He picked the Gamecocks over Tennessee last month. Tennessee stayed on him. Now he'll be a Vol. 6'5", 281. He's the 23rd Tennessee commit for the class of 26.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Arkansas will allow fans to rush the field following big wins, but only after a delay, so Arkansas can avoid those hefty fines. The SEC updated the field rushing policy with the $500,000 fines, but the conference can waive the fine if the opposing team and officials are allowed off the field first. So Arkansas says, we're going to wait 3 minutes, and then you can rush the field. They just got to give them a reason to rush the field.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
And the Gamecocks are expected to leave Under Armour. They've announced a new deal with Nike. It'll move. The 10-year deal with Under Armour comes to an end next summer in South Carolina. We'll go to Nike, so you see the swoosh logo on all the Gamecock uniforms. Starting in the 2026-2027 academic year, Gamecocks have been with Under Armour since 2007. Okay, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. We're brought to you by Shaw Bills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com, with locations all over South Louisiana. You're never far from a Shaw Bills location. Remember, they've been around since 1968. If you need tires, you need Shaw Bills. They're the best. I was talking to my buddy Martin yesterday over at Shaw Bills. They've got their kickoff special going on right now. Michelin and Toyo for the rest of this month. Buy 3, get the 4th tire free when you use your new or existing Shaw Bills credit card, or buy 3, get the 4th half off with any other form of payment. It's not a gimmick. They're not inflating the pricing so they can give you a discount, but it's actually the regular price. This is just a great deal. It's a pre-Labor Day tire event. Check them out at ShawBillsTire.com, ShawBillsTire.com. Shaw Bills, where we keep you rolling. Okay, y'all, it's after further review. I do want to talk about the Saints trading for a wide receiver and possibly a running back next. That's coming up in 15 minutes from right now, after the top of the hour. We'll come back. We'll do Tigers and the Pros. Remember, we're starting our football content, so Lee Sterling will be here at the end of hour number 2 to give his best bets for the weekend. So Muse will have Tigers and the Pros when we come back on AFR.
AFR.
Woo, boy! Terrio's going to be fired up about this. Miss Teresa over at Clegg's messaged me earlier today. Buckbusters! They got it in. The Buckbusters Fall Seed Mix, Mo Bucks Deer Feed, Deer Corn, Rice Bran. They got it at Clegg's. You know I don't shoot deer, but I certainly endorse your right to do it, and I love to eat what you shoot. You need to start feeding those plots, filling those plots right now to bring in Bambi. Get by Clegg's Nursery. Buckbusters, Mo Bucks, Deer Corn, Rice Bran, all 4 locations. They got them at Clegg's Nursery. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Also, time to start planting that fall vegetable garden, and they're getting new fall bedding plants in by the day. So get on by and see our friends at any of their 4 locations. Buy local, shop local, tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief.
our clients come first.
At Luva, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Hey, Muse.
What up, Scott?
You kind of smirked about the Arkansas 3-minute delay field rush thing.
Yeah.
You think that's funny?
I think it's stupid, but
I think it's an awesome idea.
Really? Do you?
I think most people are going to share your opinion, but let me paint this picture for you.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. What if? All right, you have to visualize this.
I'm
okay?
visualizing.
You have to visualize this.
Okay.
So the game's ending and your team's about to win. And normally, like, as the clock's ticking down, that's when people start flooding on the field, and it's this whole thing, goalpost. What if, like, the entire team starts, raising, like, arms in the air, and then as soon as the clock hits 0, the big scoreboard, boom, giant numbers, 3 minutes. And then it becomes this 3-minute crescendo of a countdown. And all the players then are on the field. Everyone else is gone. The opponents are gone. And this giant clock on the scoreboard is just counting down from 3 minutes. And now you got a 3-minute build of anticipation, of noise, culminating, and then kaboom, fireworks, everybody come on. The whole team could be standing at midfield just waving everybody on. Like, tell me that doesn't actually have potential, if executed properly, to build like that.
I mean, it has the potential. I don't know how you execute it. I don't know how you keep thousands of people in the stands.
I just told you.
For 3 minutes.
I just told you.
But then even at that point, the euphoria is in that 3 minutes. It's not in the rushing of the field. And one of the things that makes rushing the field so great is the immediacy of it, man.
And this builds it even more because it makes you wait for it.
Yeah, but could you imagine?
It's like, do I want to use this example? I would use this example on whiskey and wine. I'm not going to use the example on AFR. Let's just say there's an example that T-Bob would probably find very appropriate.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Where sometimes taking your time makes the payoff even better.
Man, you have a game-winning touchdown or something like Kyron Lacey against Ole Miss. I know you hate them storming the field against Ole Miss, but it's
stupid.
That's beside the point.
I mean, LSU should never storm the field no matter what.
It's that moment. Or a buzzer-beating shot in basketball. You just rush out there. You have to wait 3 minutes after the kid had a buzzer beater?
Yes.
Like, that's lame.
Yes.
And it's impossible. I don't think that's going to work.
Oh, I don't think it'll work.
That's the other thing. I just don't think it's going to work at all.
But I think it's absolutely possible and could be pretty stinking awesome. If the in-game the game day, the people responsible for the game day environment in the stadium, if they played it correctly, if they played their hand correctly, you could absolutely simulate that to where it would work and could be awesome. I don't think anyone will do it. I don't know that Arkansas is going to win a game that would warrant a field rush. Maybe you practice, like if they beat Central Arkansas or something like that. Just practice. Let them go, and then here we come, 3 minutes after. Okay, here we go, Muse. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
All right, news out of 49ers camp. Russell Gage has sustained a slight MCL sprain. Adam Schefter first reported the news on Thursday morning. 49ers GM John Lynch later confirmed it. Not serious, only expected to keep Gage out for a week to 10 days, but it's another big injury to a growing list for the 49ers. The Texans signed long snapper Blake Ferguson on Wednesday, former 6th-round pick of the Dolphins. Played in 72 games in Miami, but was released earlier this year. Now will be a member of the Texans. Malik Neighbors has returned to practice for the New York Giants. That's big. Obviously, he had missed the first 2 weeks of training camp, including their first 2 preseason games. Was a back injury. He was also sidelined in the spring by a toe, but he's back. The Braves claimed Jake Fraley off of waivers, so he now is a member of the Atlanta Braves. Dylan Cruz was 1 out of 3 last night, scored twice with an RBI and a double. And then Jaden Hill back on the mound for the Colorado Rockies. Pitched an inning a night ago against the Dodgers. Did not give up an earned run, punched out 1. Paul Gervais was on the other side for the Dodgers. 2 innings, 1 run, 2 Ks. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Parish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor. ParishRestoration.com. Patented non-toxic dry fog. Got mold in your building, commercial building? Parish Restoration. In your home? Parish Restoration. Look up at the air vent. You see a lot of times where condensation will build shows little black specks. That probably is mold. Called Parish Restoration. Healthier for your family, for your guests, your clients, your customers, patrons, whatever type of commercial building or your residential home, Parish Restoration can help. Give them a shout. It's cost-effective. It's efficient. It's Parish Restoration. Go to ParishRestoration.com, ParishRestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, ParishRestoration.com. Okay, y'all, hour number 2 coming up right after Sports Center. Don't you move.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Rouse's, where all this football season, pretty excited that they are going to help you cover the spread. You're going to hear me talk tons about that because this tailgate season, you want to make sure that you cover the spread. If you want sandwich trays, Rouse's. You want little miniature meat pies, Rouse's. Ribs, platters, Rouse's. You want some meat to throw on the meat burgers to throw on the grill at your tailgate, Rouse's. You need all your chips and dips and finger foods and sides and fruit trays and veggie trays, Rouse's. You need your beer and your bourbon and your wine and everything you're going to have out at your tailgate, Rouse's. Ice, Rouse's. You want beautiful floral centerpieces for your tailgate or at your home, whatever, maybe, Rouse's. They got it all. Desserts, Rouse's. This season, tailgate, home gate, game watch, let Rouse's help you cover the spread. Rouse's.com. Rouse's, this feels like home.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment. Dave's back on. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always. No paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
At Luba Workers' Comp, Our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luva, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can...
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. NFL fans won't see quarterback Josh Allen on the field until the Bills' season opener against the Ravens. Coach Sean McDermott confirms today that Allen will sit out Saturday's preseason finale against the Buccaneers. It's the first time in Allen's 8-year career he won't play even a snap in the preseason. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson did not practice today, the first time he's missed a practice during camp. Ravens coach John Harbaugh.
He got his foot stepped on, like we said yesterday. I think Chad had mentioned that. They did a quick x-ray, and there's no damage or anything like that. I'm sure it's a little sore today, so we just kept him in, but he's fine. He's going to be good.
John Harbaugh. Jackson hasn't played a preseason game for the last 4 years. Jaguars wideout and corner Travis Hunter didn't practice today with an upper body injury. He won't play Saturday against the Dolphins. Continuing the Colorado connection, Browns coach Kevin Stefanski says quarterback Shedeur Sanders will play in Saturday's preseason game against the Rams after Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, the Colts have a new starting quarterback, but I'll tell you why they are destined to finish last in the AFC South. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right! Woo!
Hour 2 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt.
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. Seth Wickerssham here in about 15 minutes. Tulane running back Maurice Turner at the bottom of this hour. Lee Sterling later as well. Breaking news, this is now official. This just in the inbox from the Southeastern Conference at 4:01 p.m. Central Time. Herb Vincent. The SEC is implementing a 9-game conference football schedule beginning in 2026. Ross Dellinger had it earlier today. It is now official from the league's office. 9 league games, 3 permanent opponents, 6 rotating, and they are maintaining the Power 4 mandate. So starting in 2026, you will have 9 SEC games plus your Power 4 opponents. So 10 of your 12 games will be games that people actually care to see, and only 2 garbage games remain. Much more reaction to that as we move forward. We open the show talking about that, so you can catch that on demand if you missed it. What an oddity for the New Orleans Saints. They play Jacksonville on Sunday, and hours later they trade Colin Saunders to Jacksonville. And now the Saints are about to play the Broncos on Saturday, and just a few days before that game, they trade for Denver wide receiver Devaughn Vele. If you're not familiar, I'll give you a little background on Devaughn Vele. So he's 27 years old. and he's in his second year in the NFL. He went to Utah, so those guys who go on the LDS missions, obviously they're older. So he's a 27-year-old second-year pro. He's 6'5", 210 pounds. So he's a big-bodied wide receiver. And last year, as a rookie, he was a 7th-round pick of the Broncos and had 41 catches for just under 500 yards, 3 touchdowns in just 13 games. So as a rookie, 7th-rounder, he ended up being quite productive. Sean Payton, a year ago, compared Devaughn Vele to another big-bodied 7th-round pick at receiver you might recognize.
The strengths for him certainly are his hands. You guys saw it in camp. He's got strong hands in traffic. He's a guy that plays well over the middle. He reminds me a lot of Marcus Colston, who I had in New Orleans for 10 or 11 years. Very quickly, we've seen his growth. So in our staff meeting 20 minutes ago, I said we got to continue to find touches for him.
That is high praise. That is Sean Payton, one of the brightest offensive minds ever, comparing Devaughn Vele to Marcus Colston, the greatest receiver in New Orleans Saints history. Payton also just 8 days ago was, so again, if you're thinking, well, they were just looking to move on from it, this was Sean Payton just 8 days ago talking about the progress Devaughn Vele's made in year 2.
I've said this before, even a year ago. He's extremely smart. He can play a lot of the positions. He's a good blocker. I like his size. It's a good chess piece for us, the things that he does well. Certainly year 2 for him, but year 1 was accelerated learning for him as well. We found him playing more than just one position. Sometimes that's not the case, and part of it is the maintenance on his knee, making sure he's fresh, and it's a little bit easier to maintain in season than when you're just stacking day after day in training camp. So we'll continue to find his spots. He's a big target on 3rd down and in the red zone.
Okay. That's Sean Payton just 8 days ago. Still very high on Devaughn Vele. And this makes a lot of sense for New Orleans. Look, you've got Chris Olave, Rashid Shaheed. Those are your unquestioned numbers 1 and 2. And then you went and signed Brandon Cooks this offseason. And, I didn't like adding Brandon Cooks, and it's not that I don't think Brandon Cooks has any gas left in the tank. From all accounts, I'm talking to Ross Jackson and folks that cover the team and have been out there at camp, Brandon Cooks still continues to play well and make an impact. The problem is Brandon Cooks is 5'10", and Chris Olave is right at 6 foot or a hair under. Rashid Shaheed, they have listed at 6 foot. I think those are generous. Mason Tipton's 5'11". You don't have any big receivers. So, yeah, you go get a guy that's 6'5", 210 pounds, strong hands, big body, bigger catch radius. Yeah, of course this is something that they need. And then there's the whole part about the compensation. And I think this is the part that maybe a lot of people are questioning. No one's questioning, look, Sean Payton co-signing on Devaughn Vele, great. Comparison to Marcus Colston. Makes sense for New Orleans, needed a big-bodied receiver. By the way, Kellen Moore even said that. He said, why did they, this is number 5 about needing size at receiver.
We certainly felt like if it presented itself, it would be a great opportunity. We feel great about that room. There's tons of good players in that room, and we feel like there's a lot of contributors that will contribute this year. And so, again, depth is obviously very valuable in this league, and so we felt like we added a big piece to it.
Okay, so Bub Means, who you drafted a year ago in the 5th round, who's that big-bodied receiver, hurt, on IR, done for the year. So you feel like, okay, you need another big-bodied receiver there. A lot of people are focusing on the fact that Vele a year ago was a 7th-round pick, and you gave up this year's 4 and next year's 7 to get him. A couple things. Look at the Saints' history, and generally, every other year, they don't make a 4th-round pick. They've used that as trade bait. For example, this year they had 2 4s, and they took Danny Stutzman and Quincy Riley. I think we're all very high on those 2 players. In 2024, they didn't have a 4th-round pick. In 23, they had 2. Saldivari and Jake Haener. Neither are really becoming impactful players. They didn't have a 4th-rounder in 2022. In 2021, it was Ian Book, who obviously not a contributing player, not even here anymore. They didn't have one in the COVID year. In 2019, their fourth-round pick was C.J. Gardner-Johnson. CD Deuce, undeniable hit. He's a starter in the NFL, really good player. The year before that, they took Rick Leonard in the fourth round. Didn't even make the team. They didn't have one in 2017. In 2016, they took David Onyemata. So you can kind of see, every other year, they don't have a fourth rounder. And really, they've hit on two guys, CD Deuce, David Onyemata. I mean, there's a lot of Kyrie Fort and Nick Toon in round 4 throughout the Saints' history. Al Woods was a fourth rounder back in 2010. Stanley Arno and Chip Vaughn, the teammates from Wake Forest that the Saints took in the fourth round back in 2009, were fourth rounders. Antonio Pittman was a fourth rounder, didn't make the team as a rookie. Now, Jamon Bushrod was a fourth rounder. But the point is, it's really a 50-50 proposition as to whether or not you're even going to get a contributing player in round 4 based on the Saints' history. So if you're giving up a 4 for a guy that you know can play in the league, you're eliminating the uncertainty about the player that comes along sometimes with missing in the draft. I will say this, however. And this, you hear me say all the time, I love the digital era because everything we say is recorded. And if you have the time, tolerance, or desire to go back, you can listen to anything that I said on this show before or after the NFL draft. And one of the positions I and many of you wanted the Saints to address was receiver. They needed to go get a big-bodied receiver because they didn't have that for all the reasons I just said. And then after the draft, takeaway, I liked that they made 9 picks and they got younger, but they didn't select a receiver. So I would just like to point out that our esteemed general manager in New Orleans, Sir Gumsmack and Mick, instead of using one draft pick to take a receiver, just used 2 draft picks to trade for a receiver. I'm not good at math. That's well established on this show. That math sucks. Now, I hope that Vele is the next Marcus Colston. I hope he's here for a decade. That means he'd have to play till he's 37, which I don't think that's going to happen. But I hope he's here for a long time. Is a contributing, big-bodied receiver. Would love to see that happen. And I hope we look back and go, yeah, it was absolutely worth a 4 and a 7. Absolutely. It's also hard not to look back and go, why didn't you just draft a big-bodied receiver? Guy. Keep your picks for next year so you can draft more young players. But then again, this is also the general manager that tried to compare Dennis Allen to the likes of Tom Landry and Chuck Noll. So who am I to try to combat logic like that? So after further review, brought to you by Evermore, EVAMOR, evermore.com, evermore.com. Great local product, y'all. EVAMOR, drink Evermore, available at great local retailers, available online. It is a product of Louisiana, a natural artesian well, thousands of years in the making in this underground aquifer. Make sure when you're at your favorite retailer, you buy Evermore, support a great local company. And if you're at your local retailer and they don't have Evermore, go up to the manager, slap him in the face and say, get Evermore in here. Don't do that. I'm kidding. Don't really do that. But drink Evermore. EVAMOR, evermore.com. All right, y'all. Our Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. We're going to knock out a quick break. Seth Wickersham, senior writer at ESPN.com. He's got a new book, American Kings, the biography of the quarterback. Excited to have Seth join us to talk about his new project. By the way, Colin Hurley is featured in this book. So one of the primary reasons I wanted to talk with Seth about his new project. We'll do that when we come back. Stay with us. It's AFR.
AFR.
Coworker earlier today told me that he's 44 years old, that he's scheduled a consultation over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness to go get his testosterone levels drawn. Again, we talk about it all the time, and I know Goodwood does ED treatments. Yes, they do. That's one thing among many things that they do. And I just kind of chuckled. I said, just wait. Because most men don't think about your testosterone levels. You just become familiar with feeling, with the way you feel. And until you feel good again, you don't know how bad you felt. I live that. And hormone replacement therapy can be life-changing. The energy you have when you wake up in the morning, the zest, the mental clarity, the ability to burn fat, build muscle, libido, all of it, like when you were younger. Go for that consultation. YourGoodWood.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing. This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs. From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at DecisionCriticalVR.com.
There's rarely a day that goes by without me getting some type of interview request in my inbox. A lot of times from authors who have new books that are going on the media circuit and looking to do some promotion. And I try to be selective to bring you things that I think you'd be interested in. And I got a message from Seth Wickerssham, who many know is a senior writer over at ESPN, about his new book, American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. The title itself caught my eye because anytime you try to put a different spin on writing about quarterbacks, it's always going to be fascinating to see what direction you may take it. But also, there's stuff in here about LSU, about Colin Hurley, a current LSU quarterback. I said, yeah, I would love to talk to Seth about this. So Seth Wickersham, the book is American Kings. He's a senior writer over at ESPN and, of course, New York Times bestseller. Good enough to join us for a couple of minutes here. Hey, Seth, how are you? Thanks for the time.
Man, it's tough work being this shameless, trying to promote things, but yet, we have to do it.
Yeah, no, look, it's part of the gig. But the thing is, Seth, I don't have to say yes to everybody. And I quite honestly, I seldom do. But I thought this one was fascinating because obviously because of your reputation and also the subject matter. So Let me just start with sort of a 10,000-foot view question. How do you approach a project where you say, okay, I'm going to write about quarterbacks and make it something people haven't read before?
Yeah, not only that, I mean, I essentially wanted to write about every quarterback ever, which is kind of ridiculous, but it's true. And so I was very careful. I did a ton of research about quarterbacks throughout history, both that I was personally fascinated with, ones that had left an indelible cultural imprint, like, Unitas or Namath, and then people who could speak to it in a way that I thought was interesting and new. And so I spent a couple of years, I did a ton of traveling for it. I interviewed and spent a ton of time with a lot of people. And, I settled on the characters that I did. And I wrote this book for anyone who's ever played quarterback. And a lot of quarterbacks have played, people who played it professionally at a high level have read it and relate to a lot of the things in it, even if it's not their particular story. Anyone who's ever played quarterback, anyone who played it in high school like me and wondered, these Uncle Ricos, and anyone who's ever wondered about it, because it's a very unique American job with very unique responsibilities, and I wanted to show it everywhere from high school to retired Hall of Famer.
I was a high school offensive lineman. Is there something in there for me?
I mean, hopefully you just don't throw the entire thing away.
You also have in your Twitter bio Joe Burrow's older brother. A lot of people here are pretty fascinated with him. Anything in there about Joey B?
I met with Joe and I interviewed him for it. And one of the things, I didn't use this because I ended up, he and Tom Brady said something very similar. And I ended up using what Tom Brady said, but it was about the mental place that they get to before games where, I mean, it's vaguely sociopathic. You get to the point where it's not that you just don't feel doubt or pressure. It's that you almost feel nothing at all. And I thought that was a fascinating window. I talked to Joe Burrow about it, and at the end of the day, I kind of thought Brady's example popped a little bit more. They were kind of saying the same thing, but anyway, I mean, Burrow is an unbelievable guy, and he's done some pretty amazing things as a quarterback, including, there's so much pressure that comes with the job, and there's so much fame that comes with the job. I mean, really, the book is about American ambition and American fame, and the question is, like, how do you wrap your head around that and stay sane and do your job at a high level? And Burrow has a very particular way of doing it that I think is interesting, because he narrows his job down to such a teeny degree that he almost doesn't feel guilt if it doesn't work out, which is weird. You'd think it'd be the opposite, but like, if he throws the ball on time and where it's supposed to go to a receiver and it's intercepted, I don't think he feels like that he did anything wrong. It was the receiver's job to get where he needed to be when he needed to be there. And I think that that's a fascinating element, because we think about quarterbacking as being, you have to be responsible for everybody. And that's true to a point, but you also have to trust other people to do their jobs. And I think that Burrow is very evolved when it comes to that particular element.
How did you stumble upon Colin Hurley to include him in the book?
I wanted someone who was precocious. I wanted someone who could show what it meant to be a high school quarterback now, and all of the weird multi-million-dollar circuit of high school quarterbacking, from these 7-on-7 tournaments to the showcases to, the arm care and the physical therapy and the throwing coaches and the media specialists that they need to bring in. And, oh, by the way, also your responsibilities to your high school team. And Colin was a terrific person to spend a lot of, I met with him in, I think, 8 different states. I mean, it was a lot of travel, and he was a fascinating person to spend time with because he wanted to be the youngest for everything. I mean, there was a critical moment where he had committed to LSU and he was due to graduate and be part of the class of 25. And he wanted to reclassify and be part of the class of 24, which would mean entering college at age 16. And he did it. And his dad was very worried about that, but he did it. He entered college at age 16. For a long time, I was with him in his dorm when he spent, when his parents moved him in and dropped him off. And for a while, I thought, that would be my final scene with Colin Hurley in the book, having spent all kinds of time with him. But his career and his life took a turn.
I would assume you're talking about the accident he had earlier in the
totally.
year. And
yeah, I mean, I went down to Baton Rouge and I was with him in the ICU. I was with him in recovery, and thankfully he's not only recovered as a human, which wasn't clear that he would at a time for a time, but he has recovered as a football player, and he is out there doing what he loves with a very new appreciation for it.
Yeah. I remember speaking to Brian Kelly at SEC Media Days last month, and a lot of the info on that accident has been sparse that's come out. And Brian Kelly told me, I believe it was Wilson Alexander, the advocate there as well, said at one point they were worried about potential brain damage and things like very serious ramifications. So to see him back out there is a true testament to his physical makeup, his mentality to attack recovery head on, and as remarkable a young person. We interview a lot of high school athletes, right? Recruiting and all. He's as remarkable a high school athlete as I've ever spoken to in 20 years.
He is, but that's a dangerous path that he was on. And, I'm glad that it looks like he's going to come out okay with it. But, he was in an induced coma for days, and it wasn't clear. I think it was pretty clear early on that he was going to live. And, that was a question at the immediate, moment. But, then it was like, what kind of life is he going to have? Is he ever going to play football again? What if he can't? And, fortunately, there's some stuff in the book on there, some painful moments that I witnessed, but, he did a remarkable job of retraining himself and his body to do the things that once came naturally. And, again, it's great. It's great seeing him out there.
It's incredible. Seth Wickersham is our guest, senior writer at ESPN, is the author of the new book, American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. I love to ask this question, Seth, whenever I talk to an author or maybe a filmmaker. It's impossible for everything to make it in the book. There's always going to be things that find itself on the cutting room floor and the editing floor. Is there something in particular that you really struggled with that you wanted it to be included, but that just didn't make it into the final copy?
I know, it's so funny. One of the funny things when you do a book or you do a big story is that, everybody asks you what the reaction is. And I'm like, the reaction is everyone asking me about the reaction. What didn't make it? Obviously some of the stuff about Burrow, and he's a fascinating character. I had to be ruthless in terms of, what I needed from each character to be able to express, no matter who they were, whether it was John Elway or Warren Moon or Arch Manning or Caleb, Colin Hurley, Caleb Williams, whatever it was, I needed them to play a particular part. And I really had to be ruthless about it. There's a buddy of mine who wrote a book also, and his editor cut quite a bit out of the book. And he said, the readers don't know what's not in there. And that part of it is painful because there's a lot of great stories out there that I didn't quite get to. Maybe there'll be a sequel, who knows? But, and I also think there's this entire economy. It's kind of interesting, of NFL quarterbacks who are retreads, who were very high draft picks, came into untenable situations where people fail all the time, and they look like busts. And, the NFL loves to move on from quarterbacks, but they figure out a way to hang on and survive and learn from some good coaching. And then they come back in a better situation and they end up having pretty good careers, like Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. He's one of those guys. And that entire part of quarterbacking to me was really interesting. But again, I had to lose some things, and that was part of it.
Last thing for you, Seth. Of course, you can get I would assume pre-order the book's available starting in September, but I would assume pre-order is available right now.
Anywhere books are sold, but yes.
Yeah. No doubt you go into a project like this with a certain thesis, like a certain idea of which direction you want to go. And how many people did you interview for the book?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know. I mean, some of the stuff I drew upon from, being at ESPN for 2 decades. So it was into the hundreds.
So if I ask you, with whatever the preconceived notion, the thesis you went in with, what is something that throughout this process that genuinely surprised you, either in confirmation or disconfirming what you thought?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So It's not a history of the forward pass, although it has historical moments of the quarterback position in it. And basically, I thought that quarterback went from a place, it was a slow build to reach the lofty place in our culture that it has and has had for a long time. When in fact, like, it really happened quickly. Like the forward pass was legalized in college football in 1906. And from the moment Walter Camp invented the quarterback position, he had a vision for what this person should be. Like, the job description was fascinating. It's not someone who just hands off. It was someone who just had to be a different type of individual. And when you listen to what he's describing, you think he's like talking about an army general or a CEO. And that's in 1906. And there's a character named Bo McMillan who's kind of been forgotten by history. He was retroactively awarded the Heisman Trophy for 1921, and he helped Center College in Kentucky pull off an amazing upset against Harvard. And when he came back, the governor of Kentucky, they held a parade, and the governor of Kentucky said, "I would rather be the quarterback. I would rather be Bo McMillan than be governor of Kentucky." And that was a fascinating moment, because now people say that stuff all the time, right? I mean, now presidents call them rather than the other way around. Right. But that was the first moment I saw, and again, the quarterback position's pretty young at that point, and that's the first moment I saw where, like, someone who we kind of hold as a luminary turned and said, I would rather have that job any day of the week.
What a fascinating tale. Seth Wickerssham, you can follow him on Twitter at Seth Wickersham, or X, whatever you want to call it. The book is American Kings, a biography of the quarterback, available for pre-sale now wherever you can find books. I'm lucky to have an advanced copy here on the set with me, and very excited to dive into it. Seth, we appreciate the time, and we look forward to it, man. Thank you so much for making the time today.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you so much, man.
It's our pleasure. It's after further review. We're going to knock out a quick break. We'll move from a quarterback to running back. Tulane running back Maurice Turner set to join us when we come back on AFR.
After further review.
Watermark and the Renaissance, two amazing hotel properties in Baton Rouge. The Watermark downtown, the Renaissance Southtown, right there on Bluebonnet. Remember also, when we talk about Watermark Baton Rouge, voted by you the best hotel in the best of 225. But also, this fall, that building is celebrating its centennial when it opened as the Louisiana National Bank 100 years ago, back in 1925. And so they're doing a lot this fall. I can't wait to tell you more about some of the really fun things that they're going to have planned to celebrate the building centennial. But it's another reason why I tell you, man, if you've never been to Watermark Baton Rouge, make a point to get there to experience this landmark in our city and our state. It's been there for 100 years, has continued to evolve. They've maintained so much of the historical integrity of the building while adding modern amenities, and it is gorgeous. A great place to have a private dining event, any type of wedding reception, or just a cocktail before a game. It's Watermark Baton Rouge.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Huh. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Businesses like yours are the soul of our community. You deserve someone who'll deliver the internet services you deserve. That's why local businesses rely on Rev Business, 90 years of building connections. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item. We prominently feature it in social media.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Week from Saturday, the Tulane Green Wave are going to open up in New Orleans. They're uptown against Northwestern from the Big Ten, and making his debut with Green Wave is transfer running back Maurice Turner. Spent the last 3 years at Louisville. Now he's in NOLA, and he joins us now. Maurice, it's a pleasure, man. How are you?
Man, I'm doing good. Thank you guys for having me.
Man, it's my pleasure. All right, you're gonna wear the bagel, man. You're gonna wear number 0. How'd you settle on that, man?
Honestly, man, I was hoping to get number 3 when I got there, but the quarterback, Caden Samanza, he so happened to get there before me, and I was like, so was there any other number open? And one of my best friends at Louisville, he wore number 0, so I was like, why not, man?
Who is that?
Chris Bell.
Okay. How does it look?
What do you mean by that?
Like when you look in the mirror, right? You look in the mirror, and you see the 0.
I think it looks amazing on me. At first, I thought it was going to make me look kind of wide, but 0, I think it fits right this way.
Maybe that's what I was trying to ask in a subtle way.
Yeah.
If you like the way it looked, that's great, man. Hey,
yeah.
After 3 years in Louisville, why did you make the decision to pop in the portal?
Man, we had a great, outstanding running back room in Louisville, and I was the starter this past season and ended up having a season-ending injury. And it just so happened we had a lot of young guys in the room, and they stepped up and started making big plays there. And I wanted to find the best fit for me to where I can get the bulk of the carries, because I knew that if I came back, then we would have to just share between, I guess, like 3 or 4 guys. And I wanted a chance to, show my talent and hopefully get to the league someday.
Sure. And Tulane, obviously, Mekhi Hughes was a 1,400-yard rusher the last 2 seasons. He's now at Oregon. So is part of your decision to pick Tulane the system that you feel you fit in?
Yes, I would definitely say that. Coming to Tulane, Brock, the running back coach, he was harping on that they're a run team. And I'm like, man, that's what I do. I run the ball. Let's do it.
What have been your early impressions of playing for Coach Summerall?
I love Coach Summerall. When he brought me in, he was just so loving and caring up on me, and he installed the culture of Tulane there, and it's like a brotherhood with everybody. He got us close together, and I feel like the closer we get and the closer we are to each other, we can't be stopped.
The Maurice Turner's with us, Tulane running back. There's a lot of expectation there uptown that Tulane could be make a push for the G5 spot in the playoff. How much? No, please go ahead. I'll see how much you all talk about that.
Yeah, I was going to say I have total confidence in us making the playoffs this year. We handle our business the first 4 games and just take care of the conference games. We'll definitely be in there.
So it's Northwestern out of the Big Ten, at South Alabama, Correct. Duke, who you're familiar with from your time there at Louisville, and then at Ole Miss. So 3 Power 4 non-conference opponents. I will say this, Maurice, like, mad respect for loading up the schedule with a bunch of Power 4 opponents and trying to go get it. I mean, when you look at that, you said, I mean, clearly you're familiar with the slate there. What do you see when you look at that first month?
I mean, I just think that'll help us, like, get a good start for our conference games. We start off heavy and handle business the first 4 games. There's no doubt that we can handle the rest of the season.
Maurice Turner is our guest. We always appreciate our friends at the A&P Sports Agency who've helped connect us with so many great student athletes to be able to do these conversations and tell a lot of stories. What had you been to New Orleans before you got to Tulane, before you committed?
I have not. Honestly, before I got here, I only knew about New Orleans from the movie Princess and the Frog, a Disney Channel movie. That's the only thing I knew about it. I was telling Summer all that, and he said, man, you're going to love it here. We got great food, great music, great culture, and everything. I was like, all right, shit. And I can't wait to, experience it.
Well, I mean, you're from Georgia, so you didn't have that far to go. You're still, like a Southern guy. So what would have been your takeaways, your experiences there in New Orleans?
I would say that the city and the people here are amazing. There's always something to do. I'm from a small city in Georgia, Douglas, Georgia, and it's not much to do where I'm from. So coming to a bigger city, actually bigger than Louisville, has been a big step. And I've been able to visit new places. I actually went downtown when the Super Bowl was here, and I met a couple of celebrities. I seen Jameson Winston, Castanet, and I feel like just being in New Orleans gives me a great opportunity at accomplishing so many great things and meeting so many new people.
Man, I love to hear that, man. By the way, have you seen your college teammate Tyler Shuck in New Orleans yet?
I have. He actually stay right down the street from me, so that's a good thing. And I can actually, talk to him from time to time, see his takes on how it is to be in the league, and hopefully get some tips from him.
What do you think? What would you tell Saints fans they should expect from Tyler?
A great guy all around, and a guy that makes plays. He has a little of that Pat Mahomes in him. I've seen it firsthand just being on the team with him. And when he gets comfortable, it's a scary thing. It's a scary thing to see for defenses.
Hey, man, there's a lot of people up here. We're in Baton Rouge right now, and LSU's going to go play Clemson a week from Saturday. You got to play there. Y'all won there last year. I know you were injured, but what's it like playing there at Clemson?
Man, the fans is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I played Clemson my freshman year, and I think they pack out the stadium every game, no matter what game it is. 80,000 plus every single game. I'm just fond of how the fans just show up and show out every game for Clemson. I think it's a great environment to play in.
Hey, Maurice, you have no doubt personal goals for yourself. You said you want to get to the league, but on top of staying healthy this year, what else you want to accomplish?
I just want to accomplish the championship, honestly. Yeah, I have personal goals, but for our team, I want us to win an AAC championship this year and being a college football player and have a shot at the national title.
So the Princess and the Frog, that's what you knew about New Orleans. Now we can expand that that horizon a little bit more. Tulane running back Maurice Turner. Hey, man, we wish you good health and much success this season starting a week from Saturday, man. Thanks for carving out a few minutes for us here today.
Man, I really appreciate you guys for having me on here.
It's our pleasure, man. We'll keep tabs and we'll keep up with you throughout the course of the year. That is.
All right, thank you guys so much.
You got it, man. That is Maurice Turner. We appreciate our friends over at the A&P Sports Agency. Those are the guys that helped us get AJ Halsey and Bernard Gooden on the show, and gave us the opportunity to talk to Maurice, and coming from so many interesting ties. Obviously, playing it at Tulane now, but having been a teammate of Tyler Shucks, and have played in the ACC, played at Clemson. So many interesting storylines there, and Tulane is one of those teams. And I'm gonna tell you, it's interesting. This would be another one of those fascinating things with the committee, because obviously the highest ranked G5 champion is who makes the playoff. There's an auto bid there for the highest ranked G5 champion. It will be fascinating to see if Tulane wins the American, but struggles in. I mean, I just mentioned they had 3 Power 4 non-conference games. what if they lose those 3 games and they're sitting there at 9-3 or 8-4, but they're the American champion? Like, is that enough to get them in the playoff? It's going to be a fascinating thing to watch this year. But wish him luck, man. Really good young guy. We appreciate the time. All right, it's after further review. You don't have to wait until next Saturday. You got football this week with Week 0. Our buddy Lee Sterling is going to join us next with his best bets. Stay here. It's AFR.
After further review.
We're brought to you by Action Industries, a proud partner of LSU Athletics. As we often say, Action Industries, innovation in action. They're a great industrial contractor. They've been around for more than 4 decades. Remember, we're still in turnaround season, really through October. So if you have that turnaround coming up, you know you're going to have that turnaround coming up. You need someone to bid that job. Remember our friends over at Action Industries and, of course, the Advanced Turnaround Group. So the Advanced Turnaround Group is a subsidiary of Action Industries. And it's its own full set of resources. It's managers and workers and resources dedicated specifically to turnaround work. They're not taking people from other parts of the business and throwing them in the turnaround world. If you need your turnaround done timely, safely, effectively, efficiently, the Advanced Turnaround Group at Action Industries can help you out. Check them out online. It's Action Industries, innovation in action.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Place your bets, gentlemen.
It's time to head to the window.
Don't gamble it all in one place.
This is Lee Sterling's Best Bets, brought to you by Paramount Sports.
Our pleasure to welcome Lee Sterling back to AFR this football season. How are you, sir?
Can't complain. A busy summer. How about yourself?
Busy summer certainly defines it. I think at one point I was in 7 cities in 6 weeks. LSU won a baseball national championship. Phenomenal summer. But, man, we were ready to buckle up and get going in football. By the way, Lee, we're going to dive into some of the college stuff. Do you handicap and mess around at all with any NFL? I'm just my own curiosity. The NFL preseason games?
Very rarely.
Yeah.
You know, the problem is mainly only week 2, which was last week, because then the starters will play a quarter, sometimes a half. I mean, opening week and this weekend where they're playing 3rd and 4th stringers, unless you have a real strong conviction and you have a roster that's that much better than another team's roster, better. Some of the best bets are no bets.
Sure. And some of us just can't help ourselves. Let's
look
at.
I know.
Let's
Trust
look
me,
at.
I got some friends. I mean, we could in the All-Star break. They're bothering me.
Yeah.
So
let's look at this weekend, though, man. Week 0. There's 5 games. The big one on the marquee is the one in Dublin. I mean, from Ames, Iowa, and Manhattan, Kansas to Dublin. I mean, you were talking about stick out like a sore thumb, but this should be a heck of a football game. Kansas State's a 3-point favorite. What are we looking at in that game on Saturday, Lee?
So a lot of people, I think, were really shocked when they saw the line. Iowa State has beaten Kansas State for the last 5 games, and most of them haven't even been close. And they've also covered all 5 of the last 5 games. Now, what's interesting is you look at the schedules from last year. Iowa State had the 34th toughest schedule. Kansas State, near identical schedule, 38th toughest. But what shocked me was the Wildcats were actually better in almost every metric except for record. Example, Kansas State's outgained opponents here each game by an average of 83 yards per game. Iowa State, just 62 yards per game. They also held a 1.31 yards per play differential over their opponents, while the Cyclones had a puny 0.16 edge. So why did Iowa State go 11-3 and Kansas State 9-4? I think the biggest reason was turnovers. Iowa State was +9 in turnover ratio. Kansas State, a very uncharacteristic -1. After the 2 years before that, going +11 and +12. So I think things usually even themselves out here. 3 biggest factors in this game is I think Kansas State's quarterback, Avery Johnson, is just so explosive. He might be able to make 1 or more plays than his counterpart, Rocco Becton. And then also, when you usually see a team with 11 wins like Iowa State, they usually have 30, 35, 40 sacks. They only had 16 sacks last year, while Kansas State had 35, which they were creating a lot of havoc here. I also think that Iowa State's receiving position is really going to miss their 2 starters, 2nd and 3rd round draft choices, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. Those 2 combined for 167 catches and 17 touchdowns. That's almost going back to when, Chase and Jefferson did their damage. Not quite at that level, but pretty close. I like Kansas State here. I think the right team's favored, 27-20.
Lee Sterling's got Kansas State laying the points 5 games this weekend, but that, of course, is the headliner, 11 a.m. Central Time on ESPN. Hey, what's your we got a few minutes left. What's your take on this LSU team this season?
I think they're going to be good. They need to have, some of those offensive linemen. There's some young offensive linemen at the tackle position. They've got to come on. And the defense, they can't give up 4.3 yards per carry like they did last year, 4.5 the years before. So they've got to stiffen up there, and they've got some transfers. Just like almost every other team, you got to have those transfers pan out. But it's really nice when you have a returning quarterback, probably one of the top 2, top 3 quarterbacks in the nation. So that should be good. I like their prop over 9.5 wins, and also you can get them at +125 to make the college football playoff. So that's one of my plays in the SEC.
Okay. Well, LSU +125 to make the playoff. Okay.
Yep.
And by the way, Lee, I've seen the number at 8.5. You're seeing LSU at over 9.5?
Yeah,
Wow.
9.5. It's moved up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I guess, look, man, being out there for a lot of access at fall camp, man, this team, it's
oh, no, you know what? It is 8.5. My mistake.
Okay, it's 8.5, yeah.
It is 8.5. 8.5 minus 155. The under is plus 125.
Okay.
Yep.
What about, we got about 90 seconds. Is there a team, do you see any win total over under value, either someone being overvalued or undervalued in the SEC?
Yeah, I like Alabama. I think Alabama with, the transition is always tough, and I like their offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb. He was at Washington with Kellen Moore the year before. He was with the Seattle Seahawks as the offensive coordinator last year. So I think he's going to bring in some new concepts and mesh well. I also, believe it or not, I like Florida. I think Florida, they paid their dues last year, and they're on the upswing. And the two overrated teams, I think, are South Carolina. I like the under in their win total. They caught a lot of teams last year at the right time. And Lenore Sellers, for how great he can be some games, there's some games he is absolutely horrendous. And then one other team that might be a little overrated. Well, I don't know if they're overrated. Tennessee, losing your quarterback and the downgrade to Joey Aguilar, who's just average, and a new running back and a bunch of new receivers and defensive front that may not be anything special. I'm going to go also under on the Tennessee win total. They have a really tough schedule.
Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. Hey, if people want to play along all season, what's the number to get the picks?
Well, you want to try us out. How about this 6 weeks through the end of September? We call it September to Remember. Normally $5.97. Use coupon code SAVE100, just $4.97. You're going to get most weekends 9 to 12, 9 to 13 games a week. And how about this? You want to try out the UFC this weekend. Normally 3 selections, $33. Use coupon code SAVE30, just $3. And it's early. It starts Saturday at 2 a.m. in the morning. So the UFC special, 3 selections, just $3, and we've won 10 of the last 13 cards.
Awesome.
And the football special, $4.97. Use coupon code SAVE100, ParamountSports.com.
ParamountSports.com. Thank you, Lee.
Okay. See you, Matt.
We'll do it again next week. Hour number 3 is coming up right after Sports Center. It's AFR. Don't you move.
AFR.
60 seconds to remind you about relief windows. I could do it in 60 minutes if I had the time. It's because if I were to sit here and sing Brandon Holly's praises, read 5-star Google reviews, tell you about all the great ways that they help homeowners beautify their homes, save money by lowering their energy bills, make their homes more secure, Relief Windows does it all. Remember, it's storm season still, and every now and again we're seeing these little systems pop up in the Gulf or out in the Atlantic. It's a reminder of the threat that's always posed when we live here. It's one of the reasons Erica and I had Brandon and his team install those impact-resistant windows. They're Cat 5 approved in Miami-Dade County. You've seen the commercial where Brandon's hitting the window with a crowbar. That's these windows. So it'll add an extra layer of security to your home. They're energy efficient. It'll lower your energy bills. It'll increase your home's resale value. It's Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding. They do shutters too. ReliefWindows.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9 on Talk 107.3.
We came up with the idea of auctions in August. Gulf Coast Bank does all the work. We display the item, we prominently feature it in social media, on our website, but we do it because it's the right thing to do for the community.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. For the first time in his career, Bills quarterback Josh Allen will not be on the field for a single preseason snap. Coach Sean McDermott says Allen is out for Saturday's preseason finale against the Buccaneers. He's coming off an MVP season. Allen has been a full participant at this training camp. Rams quarterback Matthew Stafford has been practicing all week and managing his sore back.
I'm not going to, you know what? I've played for 17, this will be 17 years now. There's soreness all over the place that every time I wake up, bud. But no, it's something that I'll manage like I do a million other things throughout the year.
Matthew Stafford, no word yet if he'll play in week 1. Former Northwestern football coach Pat Fitzgerald settles his lawsuit against the school, terms unknown. Fitzgerald sued for $130 million for wrongful termination after a hazing scandal. The Tennessee Lady Vols suspend guard Ruby Whitehorn indefinitely after her recent arrest on felony charges of domestic assault and aggravated battery.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, we offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options to cover your small business needs and more. Visit Progressive.com today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Woo!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Mike Triplett here in 15 minutes from right now. If you missed the news of the day from New Orleans Saints practice, Kellen Moore did, in fact, announce that we have a starter for week 3 of the preseason.
As far as we look forward to this Denver game,
plan is to get as many of the starters playing as we can. We'll see how long that goes, but we'll try and get those guys some game time action, which will be great for those guys just to get them out there. And QB-wise, it'll go Spence, Tyler, and then Jake. So that'll be the rotation there, and then we'll go from there.
Spencer Rattler will be the first quarterback for preseason game number 3. Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, and then Jake Haener. Haener, of course, played in the first preseason game, did not play in the second preseason game. I wonder if they hadn't ended up in that end game situation with the 2-minute opportunity to go tie the game. Maybe if Haener would have gotten that drive. But it was a great opportunity to see Spencer Rattler get out there and run that 2-minute offense. In any event, Kellen Moore did also talk about Rattler getting his second start of the preseason.
We just went with that. He's done a nice job, and so we kind of rotated it last week. We'll rotate it again this week, and the goal is to get all 3 of those guys in there.
I think our friend Ellen
Moore
is appropriate for this New Orleans Saints team in particular. We agree?
Sure, yeah.
I was at ESPN.com earlier today, and they have what they call their excitement index. Basically, how excited fans should be to watch their team play this year, right? And so it was 1 to 32, the excitement index, and the New Orleans Saints. By the way, if you're wondering, number 1 on the list, how about the Washington Commanders and Jaden Daniels?
Oh, shout out. Let's go. You should be excited about that, man.
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, this is a good team.
They claw. Number 3, Detroit.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
Joey B and the Bungles, number 4. Defending Super Bowl champ Eagles, 5.
Yeah.
How about the Atlanta Falcons, 6 on this list?
That's a horrible ranking, but okay. No, they don't have fans. No one's excited to watch. They don't have real fans.
Bucks, 7.
They have fans. I mean, yeah, Baker Mayfield's intriguing. That's good, yeah.
Jacksonville, the Raiders, the Packers at your top 10. The Bills at 11.
Jacksonville? Is that just because of Travis Hunter?
Travis Hunter.
Brian Thomas. Trevor Lawrence. Okay, yeah.
New head coach.
Yeah,
Liam Cohen
Liam Cohen, yeah, okay. Okay, take it back.
There's some intrigue there.
I take it back. Did you say the Raiders were in the top 10?
Pete Carroll, bro.
No, stop. I don't care. No. The Raiders are not exciting. No one's excited to watch the Raiders. They're going to be horrible.
Raiders
again.
at 9. Geno Smith.
No.
Brock Bowers.
No.
Pete Carroll.
No. The Raiders are going to be awful.
You mean 74-year-old Pete Carroll doesn't get you jacked to watch the Raiders?
That's horrible. No, that doesn't get me jacked. Nothing gets me jacked to watch the Raiders.
Would you rather watch the Raiders or the Saints?
I'd probably rather watch the Saints. To be brutally honest with you, you have a young quarterback, a new head coach. Like, there's a quarterback battle. Yeah.
Number 32 on the list. The Cleveland Browns.
Okay. Woo.
The write-up reads, no thank you.
That's a fair assessment of the Browns.
Actually,
year in and year out.
There's one more line. I'll watch the first Shadur Sanders start in Week 12 just to enjoy the pageantry of it all. But other than that, no thanks. But number 31 on the list is your New Orleans Saints. The first line, nobody is excited to watch the Saints in 2025, including Saints fans. And about nails it. So I figured we would take a stab at things that might be more exciting than watching your New Orleans Saints in 2025. Now, they do note here that the interesting thing, the quarterback battle, return of Olave and Shaheed, new defensive philosophy from Dennis Allen to Brandon Staley, Kellen Moore maybe having a cool play design.
Kellen Moore.
Otherwise, pretty bad. So I figured here are some things that might be more interesting. I had 8 things that are more interesting than watching your New Orleans Saints?
8.
Bob Ross outtakes.
It's a great show, man. Joy of Painting. Good one.
7, a winner.
The sequel to The English Patient. Never saw it?
Nah.
Okay.
Yep. Can't help you with that one. Sorry.
Yeah. Paul, did you see it?
My bad.
I did not know.
It's like a British film. It's let me just well, you can't see my screen anymore. We still haven't gotten the stupid thing fixed. All you have to do is look at it's from 1996. All you have to do is look at the movie poster, and you go, okay, I get it.
What was it called?
The English Patient.
I'll do that here.
6. You were born in 96.
I was born in 93. Thank you very much.
I don't think 3-year-old Matthew Gerard Musso was watching
my name.
The English Patient.
No, he wasn't.
Maybe Marilyn Monroe Musso was.
Probably not.
Might have been.
6.
Bill Belichick reading poetry. Pretty exciting.
That's riveting right there.
Bill Belichick doing a little Robert Frost.
Just mumbling through a poem. In a. That's it. Yeah, with the sleeves cut off of a sweater.
I took the road less traveled, and it made all the difference.
Make it 5.
A WNBA G League.
Oh my God.
Actually, considering a lot of the gifs and memes that Terrio has been sending me lately with their recent goings-on, that might actually be a little more exciting now, considering what's been happening there. Let's just move on.
100%.
Yeah.
4.
How about a Tiger Woods cooking show?
I'd watch that, yeah. Absolutely.
3.
Fantasy bowling.
All right. Yeah, sure. Like fantasy football, but with bowling?
With bowling.
Absolutely. You mean Norm Duke all day.
What's the guy's name? Pete,
was it Pete Weber?
Pete Weber or Pete Webb? Pete Weber?
Pete Weber?
Pete Weber. I think it was Pete Weber. Yeah. I mean, when that guy's wearing the glasses and like with his trash stash and taunting people, how you like that? I'm the best ever. Like, dude's talking smack bowling.
So good.
I mean, that is actually the fact that we know a bowler's name is indicative of the fact that he is in fact entertaining.
Number 2.
The Real Housewives of Tensas Parish.
Boy, there's a lot going on up there, man. Woo!
That actually would be pretty exciting.
That'd be fun.
1.
And the number one thing more exciting than watching the New Orleans Saints in 2025, watching Richard Condon do his taxes. There you go. There is our list. Crank it up, Muse. Crank it up, Muse. Come on now. I'm so scared. Jesse, you are taking pills?
I was wondering how long it was going to take you to make that reference.
The only other reference with this song would be Hot Shots Part 2. Did you ever see Hot Shots Part 2?
No. When you said I'm so excited, the first thing I thought of was Saved by the Bell and Jesse.
Whereas the Jesse scene was Saved by the Bell, and then in Hot Shot, did you see Hot Shots?
No.
It's basically a parody of Top Gun.
Okay. That'd probably be really funny.
Yeah. So, Charlie Sheen.
Oh, Lord. All right, yeah.
Leslie Nielsen, the whole thing. Anyway, in Hot Shots Part 2, there's a love scene with and this is the
okay.
I
understood.
I recommend seeing it.
Yeah.
Good movie. Hot Shots Part 2. Also better than watching the New Orleans Saints. Speaking of which, let's keep talking about the New Orleans Saints. Mike Triplett will join us next here on AFR, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge.
AFR.
If you get home tonight, or maybe it's not tonight, maybe it's this weekend, or maybe it's 5 days from now, or maybe it's a month from now, or maybe it's a year from now, but it's inevitable. It is inevitable. At some point, your AC is going to go out. You're going to get home, and your home's going to be hot. When that inevitable day happens, I'm not wishing this upon you. I'm just stating a fact that it's going to happen. One day your AC is going to be blowing hot. When that day happens, remember River City's 1 hour air. Big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. Go read the Google reviews. They have more than double the amount of 5-star Google reviews of the next closest customer, or the next closest competitor, I should say. They work nights, holidays, weekends. They'll always come out nights, holidays, weekends. They'll give you expert service and a good, better, and best option. They'll do right by you. It's River City's 1 hour air.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Yeah, we feel like we're in a really good place. Obviously, it's been a really competitive camp in a number of positions. I think our guys are finding that common ground and starting to work together and understand the systems in all three phases. You can see that consistency start to show up where, okay, we're reacting at a really high level now. I think our team's really well connected from an off the field and from an interpersonal standpoint, and so we're ready to go compete. And we feel like we got some really good pieces. We're really excited about some of the younger guys that are going to get to hop in there and play early in this season, and so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Kellen Moore meeting with reporters on Thursday. Saints getting ready for their final preseason game here in 2025. Mike Triplett, New Orleans.football. Good enough to hang with us for a few minutes. How are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Any reaction to Rattler starting the third preseason game? Should we make anything of that?
Well, yeah, we should. I mean, I think that puts him in the driver's seat. It hasn't been an official announcement because, they haven't announced it to him or they haven't announced it to the team, but the starters are starting this one. It's the first time anyone's gotten a chance to play with Eric McCoy and Alvin Kamara, presumably, probably Olave and Shaheed, the full offensive line. Like, this is the You know, unless something unexpected happens, I think he starts in week 1, and I think that makes the most sense. And I think that's the way it's been trending, and the way that it always made the most sense to me, unless Tyler Sheck just looked even more ready than you would expect a second-round pick to look. And for a couple weeks there, it looked like Sheck might be coming on really fast, but this makes the most sense to me, and you give Rattler a realistic chance to hold on to it for as long as he can. And if he can't, then Sheck takes over at a more natural time for a second-round pick to take over, I think.
Do you think that's the way they should approach it, especially given the...
Yeah, I would approach it that way for almost every reason I could think of. I mean, if you just approach it from strictly a Tyler Sheck, like he's the guy we drafted, he's the guy we're developing, most teams don't throw those guys right into the fire anyway. Usually they have a veteran on the team, but like Jackson Dart is not starting. Michael Penix didn't start. Drake May didn't start right away. Like that could be good for Sheck, especially when you look at the schedule. Like, you don't want him to go out there and start 0-4 and have everyone calling for Spencer Rattler, and then do you bench him, and then when do you go back to him? Like, unless he looks supremely ready, it's probably better every once in a while to take your time with these guys and ease them into the lineup at some point. And if you're looking at it just from a competition standpoint, like the only thing that matters to me is who played better this summer and who can help me win in week 1. I think Rattler's played a little better. I don't think anyone can deny that. Now, Sheck might have the higher ceiling, and they're going to want to turn to Sheck at some point. They have to find out what they have in him. But, for most reasons, I think it makes sense to start out with Rattler.
All right, let's move past the obligatory quarterback convo. The Saints and Sean Payton doing deals.
Yeah.
Devaughn Vele. Give me a reaction to the trade, if you would, Mike.
I like the player a lot, and I like that they traded for a young guy
Yes,
quote
27.
unquote, but a rookie contract guy with three years left on his contract. Like, I like that better than I would like to see this guy trade for 34-year-old veteran who has 1 year left on his deal. I was pretty surprised how much he cost, but I think that's the nature of you don't often see second-year players that a team likes being traded. Like, I was trying to think of a good comparison. Like, do like the Saints trading Rashid Shaheed 2 years ago or something like that. Like, usually you hang on to those guys. So I understand why he cost what he cost, and I'd feel a lot better about it if it was a 6th-round pick. But the odds of him being better than whoever they would have used that 4th-round pick on are pretty high, especially when you look at their track record of 4th-round picks. So I'm kind of in the middle on it. I'd feel a lot better if they got him for cheaper. I don't like the idea of trading future picks, but they are at least trading it for a guy who is going to be on this team for the next 3 years and maybe longer, at a cheap price. So it's not like they're selling the future for the present. This guy could be part of the future too. So the cost is my only qualm with it. If it wasn't about what it costs to acquire him, he's obviously the exact type of receiver they've been missing.
Mike, they might not be done. There was a report, I believe it was Diana Rossini earlier today who had the report that the Saints are maybe kicking the tire
about running backs.
On running backs. Walk me through why that might make sense.
Yeah, I would absolutely not be in favor of them trading a 3rd-round pick for Brian Robinson Jr. or something like that with 1 year left on his deal. Or
okay, why? Why?
I don't want any moves that are 2025 driven. Save your future draft picks, save your money. Everything should be about a long-term rebuild at this point. Don't deny that you're in a long-term rebuild. Don't just try to win more games this year. So I would not like that. I would not like trading a valuable draft pick for a veteran on a 1 year deal. But if you're talking about guys who are going to be cut by other teams and you're giving your 6th for their 7th, I don't mind making calls like that. I mean, if that's what they're talking about, like if they're talking to teams where guys, where they've got 4 guys going for 3 spots and they're going to be practically giving them away, then I don't mind making calls like that. But hopefully they're not, they're not mortgaging their future to trade for a guy that is only going to help them for 1 year. They haven't been in the business of doing that this offseason, and I hope they don't change course now.
Well, Mike, make sense of what they could be looking at, because then you've been out there, but all the reports that we hear has been that they almost have an abundance of really good options, and that's going to be a tough cut, whatever they decide at running back.
Yeah, I'm curious how aggressive. I mean, are they just making calls? Are they just, finding out what's out there like every team should do, due diligence, so to speak? Or are they really looking to acquire something? If they're really looking to acquire something, in my mind, it might be there's two things I think you could think. One is a pass protector. I mean, I think that's why I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Cam Akers might make this team, is if they need a veteran, reliable pass protector type of guy, and if they don't think Kendre Miller is quite there in those important situations. And the other thing would be if they see a young developmental guy, if somebody's given up on their guy who's 2 or 3 years into their deal and they've had high draft grades on him, because Kendre Miller's had a really nice summer, but as we know, he is no sure thing. So if they want to get someone in the pipeline and look at him as a possible future successor to Alvin Kamara, I wouldn't mind that either. But like I said, I don't want to see them just rent a 28-year-old for a year. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
He's on Twitter at Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football, NewOrleans.football. You can get him there. Mike, as we wind down training camp and look toward the regular season, is there a position group that maybe you came in the season either doubting or questioning that maybe you're a bit more optimistic on the future?
Well, I would have said cornerback until Alontae Taylor got hurt. Hopefully, he's not out for long, and that can still be a true statement. But in general, a player is Kool-Aid McKinstry, which that's one of the most important positions on the field. And they lost Marshawn Lattimore and Paulson Adebo. But I think Kool-Aid's had a really good summer. Makes you feel pretty good, like, okay, maybe they got a guy at one of those building block positions. And I think Quincy Riley was a nice draft pick. And, I think they have high hopes for Alontae Taylor. So that was one of those, boy, this could go either direction, and it's gone in a positive direction. So that's one I probably feel better about than I did in July, provided Alontae Taylor is healthy.
You generally go through your sort of mock 53-man roster projection. Where at this point do you think you're going to have the toughest decisions?
Yeah, it's on defense. I have about 29 guys that I would ideally like to keep, and I usually keep that to about 25 spots. So I think there's tough decisions pretty much at every layer of the defense. At linebacker, I think Isaiah Stallbert's made a really nice case, especially on special teams. And there's DeMarco Jackson, there's Nephi Sewell, there's Stallbert, there's Jalen Ford, who's played nice. Those guys might be going for 1 or 2 spots. We were just wondering, like, at safety, if Ugo Amadi and Jordan Howden and Jonas Sanker are all backups, and JT Gray can keep 4 backup safeties. Defensive tackle, they did thin it out with the Colin Saunders trade, but they're still, Jonah Williams and Vernon Broughton and Jonathan Bullard and Christian Boyd and John Ridgway. They can't keep all those guys. They can't keep Isaiah Foskey and Chris Rumpf and Sidiel Diggs. So some tough decisions across the board there. And look, wide receiver just got tougher today. If he took somebody's spot, I wonder who that will be. It doesn't look like Mason Tipton's going anywhere. So did he take a spot away from Cedric Wilson? I don't know.
When I usually ask that question, Mike, you'll typically say of the 53, there's 49 that are locks. Or so I'm making that number up. Like, where do you feel that like the quote unquote locks are this year? Like, how many spots realistically you think are up for grabs on the 53?
Yeah, I think there's quite a few that are up for grabs and some of them are like either or situations. Like, they're going to keep 3 tight ends. Who's the third guy going to be? Is it Trayton Welsh, who I think it now is? Is it Trayton Welsh, or is it the 7th round pick, or is it Michael Jacobson, or at running back? Like I said, I mean, there's one spot for either Cam Akers or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Like, so there's a lot of either or situations where they're going to keep somebody at that position. I'm not positive. Who's the 4th defensive end? Is it Chris Rumph, or is it Isaiah Foskey? So in that sense, there's a ton of jobs up for grabs. If I was writing in ink and then I switched to pencil, I think that probably happens after about 35 guys, I would guess.
Okay. He's Mike Triplett, at Mike Triplett, neworleans.football. Been good enough to join us Thursdays during the football season. We'll look forward to doing it again this fall, talking some black and gold. And hopefully they surprise us a little bit, Mike, and the hour starts to point up for the future. We always appreciate the time, and thank you.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Be well. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You can check them out there. Remember, there are 9 locations, 2 in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport, and you can always check them online at Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. You know, they really pride themselves on the Lee Michaels experience. You know, you walk in and they'll offer you a beverage and chocolates. And they can get you what you want. You know, with 10 different stores, they can, if they don't have what you want, they'll find it. If they can't find it, they'll make it. Custom pieces are available. They accept returns. If she's not thrilled, bring it back, return it. They want her to love it. They want you to be the hero. They want you to have the best experience. Everything they do is about that beautiful piece of jewelry and the greatest experience to go along with making your decision. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Thanks for being here with us, man. We have had a jam-packed show. Chris Hummer of CBS Sports was here in hour number 1. Picked LSU to win the SEC. One of the few national people out there picking LSU to win the SEC, kind of explained why. We had Seth Wickerssham with us. He's got a new book out. Actually, the release date, I believe, is September the 9th. It's here in a few weeks. It's called American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. Some interesting tidbits there about Colin Hurley as he was following Colin through his senior year of high school, his reclass. So there's some notable LSU stuff in the book as well. If you want to pre-order it, you can wherever you get books. American Kings. Maurice Turner, the Tulane running back who transferred in from Louisville. Had some great stuff about Tyler Shuck, who was his teammate at Louisville last year, playing at Clemson, lots of good stuff. Lee Sterling was giving his bets. He likes Kansas State, laying the points this weekend in Dublin. Just heard Mike Triplett. I mean, tons of stuff. You can always get AFR on demand wherever you get podcasts or on YouTube. Just search After Further Review. If you want the LSU content, just search AFR LSU. If you want Saints content, search AFR Saints. Podcast or YouTube, it's all the same. All right, it is After Further Review, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. We'll knock out a quick break, come back. Austin Thomas, LSU GM, is at the mic right now meeting with reporters. Anything notable there, we'll share it with you. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
Man, I'm starting to see those Get Gordon billboard entries come in. GetGordon.com/billboards. GetGordon.com/billboards. It's the 3rd annual Gordon McKernan Get Gordon Billboard Design Contest. You can win up to $2,000 in prizes, a donation to the charity of your choice, and the chance to see your billboard design on a billboard all over town. So it's the Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys Billboard Design Competition. Go to getgordon.com/billboards, getgordon.com/billboards for all the design requirements, the entry information, all that stuff. You got about a month to get your designs in, so start getting creative. Really fun the way that our audience has taken that ball and run with it. So get creative, dive into Canva or clip art if people still use that, or whatever you use to design your billboard. Go to getgordon.com/billboards to get all the information. Getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
Businesses like yours are the soul of our community. You deserve someone who'll deliver the internet services you deserve. That's why local businesses rely on Rev Business. 90 years of building connections. Visit us at letsrev.biz.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
I'm looking at our group text over at louisianasports.net. Chris Marler right now has a piece up about the 9-game SEC schedule. If you're not familiar, if you haven't heard yet, the league has officially adopted a 9-game schedule. That news came down about an hour and a half ago. Ross Dellinger reported it earlier Thursday, and the league has now formally set out the announcement. They have adopted a 9-game schedule for 2026. So it'll be 3 permanent opponents and 6 rotating opponents. So you'll play the 6 home and away in a 2-year cycle. So over 4 years, you'll play every team in the league home and away, which I like. I think permanent opponents are absurd. It's unnecessary. But if you want to do it to protect some of the stupid rivalries that only those fan bases care about, like Georgia-Auburn or Bama-Tennessee, okay. But like if Georgia and Auburn play only every other year, okay. The world's not going to end. We'll still see really good SEC games. Can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, whatever. But anyway, so Marler's got his column up. If you want to go read it, it's there at louisianasports.net. I think I should mention also the other piece of that's included in the scheduling is that the Power 4 non-conference mandate is retained. So starting in 2026, every team in the SEC is going to play 9 league games and a Power 4 non-conference opponent. So 10 of the 12 games will be games you actually care to see. So one of the garbage non-conference games that's the garbage body bag cupcake, paycheck games, whatever you want to call it, goes away and is replaced with an SEC game. That's great for everybody. It's not great for coaches like at State and Kentucky and Vanderbilt that need to win a certain number of games, and adding a league game guarantees half your league another loss. So I understand why there were some schools in the league that were against a 9th league game, but they got to this point. But the interesting question, anyways, who should the 3 permanent opponents be? And we're probably going to organize something at louisianasports.net with our staff, throwing that out there, who the 3 permanent opponents should be. Let me know your thoughts. That's not rhetorical. Shoot me a text or tweet me at Matt Moscona. You can jump at the Bayou Ford YouTube channel, the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel, or text 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Do you either of you have yours? Who would you pick? If you had to pick 3 permanents for LSU, who would you pick?
Yeah, I would go with Ole Miss. Obviously, I mean, the historical implication of that rivalry between LSU and the Rebs, there's a lot of great moments there.
Okay.
I'd go Florida as well. I think LSU and Florida across all sports is just always intriguing and never really disappoints. So I would keep Florida. And the SEC, I would just be floored if they let the LSU-Alabama game go away for all the ratings and eyes that it brings every single year. So I would go Alabama.
Okay, so Ole Miss, Florida, Bama would be that's what you would want to see?
Yeah, that's what I would want to see.
Ole Miss, Florida, Bama. Okay. Paulie? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Very good. I would probably go with Florida, Bama, and Auburn.
Florida, Bama, Auburn. Okay. The interesting thing about it is when you play some of that stuff out. So, for example, like if Bama's like this is one of the problems they're going to run into. All right. Bama is going to play Auburn and Tennessee. That's happening. So Bama's 3 then would be Auburn, Tennessee, LSU. All the talk about this for years was if you do that, it would be like if you're in the top half of the league, historically, right, you'd play 2 top half opponents and 1 bottom half opponent. And then it would flip. If you've been in the bottom half historically, you'd play 2 bottom half and 1 top half. I remember Nick Saban lost his mind because Tennessee, over the last 20 years, would be in the bottom half. So they'd get Vanderbilt and Kentucky and then Alabama, right? Just hypothetically. I don't know if that's how it will play out, but that was one of the things that was very openly discussed when we had this conversation. So, like for Paulie, throwing out Florida, Bama, Auburn, they wouldn't do that for LSU. Like it, I mean, I'm with you. Like as far as the games that you'd want to see, and those are y'all know I love the Auburn game.
Yep,
I mean that's my favorite LSU. Like I hate that they haven't played the last 2 years. It sucks. Muse, yours would work because Ole Miss, I'm assuming over the last 20 years will be in the bottom naturally, and then Florida, Bama would be in the top half.
What's yours?
Oh, thanks for asking.
Yeah.
I was wondering if somebody
I was going to. I was letting you get all your stuff out, and then I was going to do it. So, Scone, which 3 permanent opponents would you pick for LSU?
I would like to see LSU play Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Mississippi State.
Yeah, I'd like that too.
You notice only one of us is laughing?
Yeah.
I would like to see LSU's permanent opponents be Vanderbilt, Kentucky, and Mississippi State. That's what I would like to see.
Can't argue with that.
You know what I want? I want championships. And 2 days ago, I sat here and lost my mind, and everybody laughed at me because my head was the color of my shirt, screaming about the whole Auburn thing, and all the Auburn people like, oh, you mad? I ain't mad about Auburn flying a fake flag. Fly your flag, idiot. I don't care what you do. You missed the point. It's not about your stupid AD flying a flag and claiming a fake championship that no one else is actually going to recognize. You want to fly a flag? Put up a flag. It's like Ole Miss having their 2003 SEC Western Division banner. Like, everyone's laughing at you. Like, we saw Eli fall down. LSU won the national. Like, you didn't win nothing? Like, whatever. Okay. Like, everyone, you're entitled. UCF has a 2017 national championship. You're an idiot. We know what happened. Fly a flag. I don't care what you do. Like, it's all about what history and what public historical context recognizes. We all understand that. It's about how absurd the notion is that someone can do that. But that's always going to be my point. Like, why would you voluntarily put yourself at a disadvantage? Look at Indiana. I'll continue to say this. Do you realize Indiana just bought their way out of a home and home with Virginia to be able to add a directional state U? Kurt Cignetti ain't no idiot. He knows. Committee just told him, hey, you go 11-1, doesn't matter who you play, you're in. Played one ranked opponent. got their ass kicked. Ohio State. Made the playoff, played another ranked opponent, got their ass kicked. They were 11-1, put them in. And why wouldn't you? They were 11-1 in the Power 4 league, if that's going to be our standard. So whatever's going to help me go 11-1 to be in the playoff, that's what I want. Give me Vandy, Kentucky, and Mississippi State. Those are my 3 permanents. I know Greg. Those of us who know him well call him Greg. Sanky leg.
I don't think anyone calls him that.
Sanky leg?
Not to his face.
Jimmy and I do.
Yeah.
Do the Sanky leg. I'm going to call him and petition that LSU get Vandy, Kentucky, and Mississippi State as their 3 permanents. That's what I want to see. Like, I don't give a damn if LSU ever plays Alabama again. I hope LSU never I hope LSU never plays Alabama or Georgia or Texas and any of those schools with resources and good recruiting budgets and players and tough stadiums to play. Hell no. If LSU never played Alabama again, awesome. It'd be great. Now, you're right. They're not going to let that game go away. But for all of this will be the most fascinating test case to watch. Because what Muse said is 100% right. The SEC is most interested in protecting its valuable television properties in LSU, Alabama, for the last 15 years, almost 20 years, is undeniably the most valuable television property. There have been down years, but over the last 2 decades, that has been the most valuable television property that the SEC has in an individual game, is LSU Bama. They don't want that to go away. But are you really going to give Alabama, with all the Bama bias that everyone bitches about all the time, you really going to give Bama Auburn, Tennessee, LSU? I mean, you want to talk about throwing a total monkey wrench into the Bama bias theory. Let Alabama get saddled with those 3 permanent opponents. So ultimately, the Iron Bowl is going to happen. So really the question is, do they play LSU or Tennessee? Do you play the historic rivalry in Tennessee, or do you play the one that's the more valuable entity? That will be a fascinating thing to watch, as that will be the most fascinating thing to come out of this entire scheduling process. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen and SouthPointVW.com. New and certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online at SouthPointVW.com, SouthPointVW.com. You can shop online, new or certified pre-owned. Remember, if it's on the lot, it's online at SouthPointVW.com. I'm going to walk out of here. I'm going to get my black Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport with all the technology in it, the top-tier safety features, the 9 IIHS top safety picks. I'm driving one of the safest vehicles on the road with great gas mileage, performance, and affordable. It's South Point Volkswagen. The style, feel, performance of luxury without the cost. Test drive a VW today over at South Point Volkswagen. SouthPointVW.com, South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction? All right, y'all. Final break of our show coming up. We're brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Give Blasia and her team a call. DecisionCriticalBR.com. We're not got a final break. Come back. Jimmy will be here from Vegas for a little Auto-Locks. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
I mentioned last night I was doing my show over at the South Stadium Club for the NILSU Max Go Time event, and how much NIL, how important that is for the future of LSU in all sports. And it's a great opportunity to give a hat tip to my buddy Derek Duplessis over at Duplessis Builders. Listen, if you're thinking of building a pool, an outdoor kitchen, I told you they can do putting greens. Got Derek looking into that for me at our house right now as well, out in our backyard area. You want to call Duplessis for a lot of reasons. On the pool side, naturally, they were just named by Pool and Spa Magazine the top 50 pool builder in America. I mean, Derek's a mechanical engineer who now builds pools, will not cut corners, skip steps. That's why he offers a 10-year workmanship warranty when the industry standard is 1. Beautiful pool, product that'll last, and also is supporting LSU athletes through great NIL deals and initiatives. Why would you call anyone else? DuplessisBuilders.net.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further. like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Tarina. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalvr.com.
Down the stretch, we come final segment here on a Thursday edition of AFR. Always appreciate our friends at Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Continuing to invest and reinvest in our communities, be it at the Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center, of course, the Children's Hospital, the many clinics all over not only Baton Rouge, but their multi-state health system in Louisiana, Mississippi, and taking care of the LSU athletes, the LSU students, and everyday champions like you and me. It's Our Lady of the Lake and LSU. Together, we roar. We got one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
I'm a little bit aggravated with Mr. Matthew Musso. I can tell you that. I've tried to tell this boy that I cannot self-promote. The gambling gods frown upon that. So he couldn't do it. I had to mention it, and there you go. I mean, is he doing this? Come on, Musso.
Come on, Musso.
We're going to be better next week, Otter. You have my word.
Just a devastating day. And
the day you think it's too big, Musso, for me to put you over on me, the day we got problems, young man.
No. And we got problems with your phone right now. You sound like you're underwater. Probably going to have to hang up and call
Is this
back.
better?
Yeah, it's better. There you go. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to New York and Boston. Giolito against Heel here. Giolito. We're going to go with him plus money, plus 28-30, somewhere in that range with the Red Sox. So, Orioles and Astros, Alexander and Young. Oh, that's a good game parlay. Over half with the Arrows and Orioles. 2 games on the preseason slate tonight. Giants, not bad rotation. Not a bad rotation for a preseason as far as a first-round draft pick, a Super Bowl champion. Even that's a career starts. So been rolling up on people. New England is not playing start. Okay, Giants minus 6.5, and then Carolina plus 5.5. Because I want to watch and have a little action. So no, we got Carolina.
What's interesting, Otter, is there's been a lot of line movement to the benefit of us here. Carolina is now plus 6.5, and the Giants are laying 4.5. That's moved 2 points.
Don't be a moron. Let's get more on it.
More on it.
Let's go. Let's go.
I know you're, by the way, Jimmy's phone I know was a little shaky there for those who missed it. So over in Baltimore, Houston, Red Sox on the money line, Giants and Panthers in the NFL preseason tonight. Hey, I know Hanny's going to be at Rufino's tomorrow as we begin Football Fridays. So you all start at 10 a.m. We're looking forward to that all the way throughout football season over at Rufino's. You're out in Vegas. Fill us in for what people need to know.
Vice President of Circa, Mike Palm, is at the top of the show. Chris Mastero, professional sports gambler, is co-hosting with me. We got Bruce Marshall. We've got Patrick Everson from VegasInsider.com and Paulie Howard from the Follow the Money show on VSiN. So we got a full show tomorrow live from the Circa. It's kind of their contest kickoff event, one of 30 stations that we're broadcasting.
That's awesome, man. Well, we'll look forward to the show tomorrow, and good luck tonight. Thank you, Otter.
All right, good luck.
All right, be well. All right, that's Jimmy. Again, the plays tonight over in Baltimore, Houston. Red Sox on the money line. I was listening to Jimmy earlier today. He was talking with Randy, and Yankees were down in Tampa, so it was a quick turnaround, flying up. Boston had been set. The Red Sox had been settled in New York, and quick turnaround there for the Yankees flying up from Tampa last night to play tonight against Boston. So interesting play there and plus money. Giants, Panthers, both against the spread for the game tonight. All right. Thanks as always to my friend Blazia and our friends over at Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. They always say it's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. They're expertly trained nurses. If it's end-of-life care, bringing home a new baby, IVs in your home or office, therapeutic phlebotomy. They do everything you could possibly imagine, and they're the best. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. Muse Paulie, thanks. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3.
After further review.
Okay. The time is nigh. Football season is here. And if you've not yet been to Supper Club, why not? Man, how about the dry-aged meatball? It's one of their appetizers. When I say everything you get at Supper Club is like the best version of it, the dry-aged meatballs, the beef is derived from the Sagrera cows. You know what I'm talking about? They get the full cow, butcher it in-house there at Supper Club. It's 4 3-ounce meatballs that are derived from the Sagrera cow. They're ground and aged for 35 days. These are meatballs that are aged for 35 days. Topped with buffalo ricotta cheese, served on a bed of house-made marinara, garnished with basil. The meatball has breadcrumbs, eggs, cheese, and any case of allergies. It's the dry-aged meatball. You'll find it at Supper Club. How does that sound? That's just the appetizer. Huh. When until you get to the main course at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, Propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.